county 911 number 3 times and left detailed information.
The father says authorities had been out to the Kennesaw home in the past for incidents involving his 30-year-old son, who lived there as well. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
We will be covering this morning's law enforcement briefing at 10 o'clock in the morning on the shooting, so check back for updates right here on 95.5 WSB. It is currently 77 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says you expect more scattered showers around the metro area today. Chances of some flash flooding as well as we head through the afternoon. Today's high will get into the mid-80s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Looking over the numbers, the latest consumer price index released last hour by the Labor Department. It shows inflation ticked up in July for a third straight month, thanks to tariffs lifting prices on imported goods, including appliances and food. Prices rose 2.8% compared to the same time last year. It's up 1/10 of a point from June. We'll see how Wall Street reacts when the bell rings in about 30 minutes at 9:30. The report sent stock futures, though, soaring. The DeKalb County School Board approves the installation of hundreds of vape detection devices in all district high schools. During Monday's long discussion on the plan, one board member points out that students could still use a vape pen on campus even if it's not in a hard-to-detect area like a restroom.
But if they don't vape in the bathroom, there's no cloud of vape when the students who choose not to vape walk in and just want to use the restroom or just use the mirror.
The district will purchase the products from a Suwanee-based company at a cost of $1.6 million. Installations will begin before the end of the year. Atlanta-based UPS appears to have avoided a work stoppage. The Teamsters Union overnight says it's called off a strike at UPS package terminals in Georgia and several other states. Union says the company's agreed to resolve several outstanding grievances as well as local contract disputes, but the union warns it's just the beginning of what it calls an aggressive new chapter at UPS. It cites ongoing attacks on rights and contracts and says the company has failed to deliver heat relief for its workers. Some DeKalb County parents are now saying that their kids in the county's elementary schools are not getting enough time for recess.
The school board has required at least 15 minutes of recess since 2009, but several schools have dropped from 30 minutes to that minimum for more literacy instruction. Parents like Jenny Held from Tucker call on the board for change.
I strongly urge the district to mandate a minimum of 30 minutes of daily recess for K through 5.
Parent Anna Strano cites health benefits.
Both the CDC and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend a minimum of 20 minutes of daily recess.
No action is taken on the matter at that meeting. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. And we start with triple team traffic. Here's Smile Mark McKay.
Still watching a big crowd trying to get into the heart of the city. The city of downtown Atlanta. Judd, 7585 northbound, leaving Langford Parkway past I-20, putting that extra pressure on I-20 east and westbound, feeding onto the ramp that'll take you 7585 north. In northeast Atlanta, 85 is slowing Lennox Cheshire Bridge down to the merge with Georgia 400. Watching your ride out of Cherokee, Cobb County, Ashley Frasca.
Just a brief delay at Highway 92 rolling through Woodstock on 575 South. Earlier crash was cleared out of the way at the end of the 575 ramp to 75, and then on and off the brake pedal beginning before the North Loop. Headed 75 South and ramping onto 285. Triple team traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Mostly cloudy today with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, some of which may produce some heavy downpours. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain and thunderstorms, high 84.
It is currently 76 degrees right now in Lilburn, 76 in Woodstock, 76 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome to the show and a good Tuesday morning, friends. Mark Arum crew at your beck and call till noon. We are all over the map today. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to go live to D.C., get the very latest on the new information we have about that Trump-Putin summit this Friday in Alaska. We'll touch upon what's going on in D.C. with the National Guard as well. 30 minutes from now, a big steel plant explosion in Pennsylvania yesterday. 2 people passed away. Talia Kirkland from our sister station up in Pittsburgh is going to join us live. We've got Lieutenant General Newton's going to join us live again. More in-depth coverage on what we can expect from that big Trump-Putin meeting. Scott Slade's going to join us live. He's going to talk about, we're going to get Scott's reaction to the breaking news from Friday's evening rush hour, the horrific shooting at the CDC. We'll get Scott's take on that and really employee safety here in the 21st century. And you heard Judd just mention we have some new 911 audio from that horrible shooting in DeKalb County at the CDC. Deborah, I still, by the way, it's like now I set it up every morning, an alarm, a reminder to try to find a picture of the suspect, Patrick Joseph White. Still no pictures of this dude.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. And even like people on YouTube are just putting up like these, it's Patrick Joseph White, and it's just like an outline, a black outline.
Yeah.
Like, how do we not have a picture of this guy yet? Anyway, the new information, as Judd mentioned, is there's going to be a press conference at 10 a.m. From authorities talking about the latest info on the CDC shooting. We'll get an update on the condition of those that were injured. I'm trying to find out from our boss if we're going to take that press conference live. At the minimum, the news team is going to monitor it. Vinny's going to pull cuts, but obviously a huge local story we're going to continue to cover. But as Judd mentioned, Deborah, we have some new 911 log information from that fateful evening out front of the CDC.
Yeah, they just put out the log, and it shows 11 calls from Patrick Joseph White's home. This is between June of last year to August of this year, 11 different calls. And they were for all kinds of different things, for suicidal threats, calls for an ambulance, a call of theft. There was a domestic disturbance. And then there was a cited one where he just called the crisis hotline because he needed somebody to talk to. Wow. And there was even a welfare check on him for July 21st because he was having some suicidal thoughts.
So we have not yet confirmation from the police, but there's been these rumors circulating online that the motive in this shooting was that Patrick White was feeling ill effects from the COVID vaccine and suicidal thoughts. The fact that we have logs that he called a crisis hotline maybe lends credence to that. Maybe we'll get clarification from the authorities again at that 10 a.m. press conference. There were also released the father of Joseph Patrick White made a concerning call to Cobb County's 911 on Friday evening. I'm going to play. It's a short audio clip, but this is a portion of it.
I'm very worried that he might have been involved in this shooting today.
God, can you imagine being a dad and thinking, oh, gosh, maybe that's my son? Like, just horrific. And obviously the father knew that his son was troubled. He then tells the dispatcher that he reached out to DeKalb authorities as well.
Can't get any information from anybody. I've called the DeKalb County 911 number 3 times and left detailed information.
Unbelievable. I would imagine DeKalb County's 911 center was overwhelmed with calls once there started being gunfire outside of the CDC there on Clifton Road. So, I guess, that's new audio. The father, you can hear it in his voice, too, like the concern there that he knew it was his son. He just had that feeling. So just an awful story. But again, press conference scheduled for 10 a.m. today. Judd, have you gotten confirmation? Are we going to take that live? I would like to, but I know that's against.
I'm not actually sure.
Against protocol. Let's see. All right, they're in discussions, but we're going to monitor it for sure. So the news team will monitor that. Any new information? Again, and is it morbid that I just want to see what this kid looked like? That I want a picture of him released?
I think it just makes us not normalize, but we want to know the why something like this happened. We want to see who did it. I think we all just want answers.
Yeah, this is from the New York Post. CDC shooter Patrick Joseph Wilson shot out 150 windows and fired 180 shots in the attack. That's a lot of ammunition. And again, I have friends at the CDC that work there, and you can there's still bullet holes, on the campus. I believe, as we reported yesterday, everyone's working from home this week at the CDC except essential personnel that have to be there for research purposes or what have you. But, getting some new developments on that shocking, tragic story there. At the CDC. Again, press conference at 10 a.m. We'll at least monitor it, if not take it live here on the Mark Arum Show. Got some new CPI numbers for July, Consumer Price Index numbers. And I don't want to say it's a mixed bag, but it's kind of a mixed bag. I usually reserve that when we're talking about what's going on Wall Street, but a mixed bag on the CPI report in July. Vanessa Yurkevich breaking down the numbers this morning.
A tamer inflation report despite President Trump's tariffs. This is better than expected. Month over month, as you mentioned, up 0.2%. On an annual basis, up 2.7% in July. That's also what we saw on an annual basis for the month of June. When you look at the key categories that we always look at, energy, food, and shelter, energy fell by 1.1%. That was largely driven because of gas prices falling in the month of July by 2.2%. Look at that food. I mean, this is where people spend their money, right? Food every single day. Food flat, 0%, and actually down at the grocery store by 0.1%. And then shelter, we always usually see an increase because that is what people are paying on rent, and we know that rents are rising. That is usually the biggest share of this report. But when we look at core inflation, this is where we're starting to see some of those price increases. Okay. Core inflation actually came in hotter than expected. So month over month, up 0.3%, and on an annual basis, up 3.1%. That's actually the highest reading we've seen since February. And this is important because it strips out that volatility of the energy, of the food prices. Right. So you're looking at other categories.
So I guess basically the inflation's going up a little bit, but not as much as it was expected in these July CPI numbers as the tariffs start having an impact on what we buy and how much we're paying for it. So it's mixed. It's mixed signals. Wall Street apparently likes it. The Dow the Dow futures are up 200 points. NASDAQ's up 127. So Wall Street apparently likes the new CPI numbers from July. All right, let's update the Trump-Putin conference. Trump and Vladimir Putin scheduled to meet Friday in Alaska. CBS News' Bradley Blackburn has more.
The president has called Friday's summit a, quote, feel-out meeting. He says he'll be able to tell in minutes if Putin is serious about reaching a peace deal with Ukraine, though he also says a final deal can only be reached between Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Zelensky says he believes Putin plans to play up Friday's meeting as a victory, while citing new intelligence that shows Russia could be planning for more military attacks. President Trump says he plans to speak with Zelensky after his meeting with Putin.
Zelensky obviously dubious that Putin is serious about a ceasefire or any sort of talks. But again, what my initial takeaway from the press conference yesterday, the wide-ranging press conference from President Trump, where he started talking about what's going on in D.C. and then was asked about his meeting with Vladimir Putin, is the fact that he is preemptively saying, yeah, there's going to have to be some sort of a land swap, which to me, if you're in Ukraine, you know, do you really want to give up territory to Russia and basically reward them for their invasion? ABC News chief global affairs anchor is Martha Raddatz. She has an update.
President Trump suggests Russia and Ukraine could swap land, something Zelensky has said he would not approve on his own.
I was a little bothered by the fact that Zelensky was saying, well, I have to get constitutional approval. I mean, he's got approval to go into war and kill everybody, but he needs approval to do a land swap because there'll be some land swapping going on.
Zelensky says Russia is trying to deceive the U.S. and is calling for tougher sanctions. Neither Zelensky nor European leaders have been invited to this week's summit.
I mean, I'm not a negotiator, but the fact that before they even meet, that the president's like, yeah, there's going to be a land swap, and that Vladimir Zelensky unilaterally can be like, okay, take this section of my country without hearing from his constituents. Let's continue our team coverage live now in D.C. White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning, my friend.
Good morning to you, Mark. Hope you're doing well.
Excellent. Were you at that press conference yesterday with President Trump and the rest of the cabinet?
Well, look, the president making two big announcements yesterday. One in regards to his decision to essentially federalize the police department in Washington, D.C., move into the city, 800 National Guard troops. In addition to that, the president giving a preview about his upcoming meeting that will take place on Friday in Anchorage, Alaska, with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
John, I want to start with that Putin information that we got yesterday. They're set to meet on Friday. And the big headline for me was that President Trump basically conceding there would have to be a land swap even before they sit down and negotiate. I would imagine that's a non-starter for Vladimir Zelensky.
Well, I think it's a non-starter for both Putin and Zelensky, the idea of territorial concessions. So I think the president's going to be disappointed on that front in the sense that he's first proposing this land swap idea to Putin. I don't think he's going to make much headway in that regard. I think that both leaders feel that territory that's been conquered should now be their territory. The president needs to get past that. And the president also said that one of his other goals is to have a ceasefire in place immediately after the meeting takes place. I think that is likely a non-starter for Putin as well.
John Decker joining us live in D.C. on the Mark Arum Show. Have we yet learned a locale of this summit?
It's going to be in Anchorage, Alaska. I'll be there. I'm actually flying out to Anchorage tomorrow. It's a long trip. The president's making it a day trip. He's flying from the White House to Andrews Air Force Base, direct flight to Anchorage, Alaska. He'll meet with President Putin. After that meeting, he'll have a press conference, and then he's flying back. He's flying back to the White House. So it's a very long day for the president on Friday.
Our NATO allies, John, not happy that Ukraine won't be represented at this summit. And the fear is that if there is some sort of a land exchange where Russia gets control of land they've occupied in Ukraine since the war, that this might incentivize Putin to do something to a NATO country and take some land from them as well.
Well, that's right. That's a very big concern for Europe. Is that there are other countries that are members of NATO, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and Putin would like to have those former Soviet republics a part of Russia once again. Let's not forget Moldova. That's not a part of NATO, so it doesn't have the protection of NATO. So those are major concerns for our European allies.
John, safe travels. Are you looking more forward to salmon from Alaska or king crab legs? What are you going to dine in first?
How about if I make both a dining option for me, Mark, and I'll give you a full report. Absolutely.
All right, I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, John.
All right.
John Decker will be traveling to Anchorage, Alaska for the big summit. I'm setting expectations low. President Trump's kind of saying, hey, this is just a meet and greet. This is the first step, but he does want there to be a ceasefire after the meeting. I thought John asked a really important question to President Trump last Friday when he said, hey, can you envision an agreement being reached and you and Zelensky and Putin are on the podium and you're signing this, like just putting that vision in the president's head? He would love that. He really wants a Nobel Peace Prize. And if he can end this Russia-Ukraine war, I mean, that's a big feather in his cap. So obviously a huge developing story. It will be in Anchorage. It will be this Friday. John Decker will be there covering it for us. All right, we're going to come back, update our top local stories. First, though, got to check the ride around town on this Tuesday morning. Let's say hello and good morning to Mike Shields.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Still busy out on the roadways as the morning drive trying to ease up a little bit, but new crash working on the east side perimeter, 285 northbound, the outer loop just past I-20 exit 46. Right now on the left shoulder, we're going to see if they block all lanes, maybe move that to the right shoulder. And road work setting up I-20 eastbound past Wesley Chapel Road exit 68. That's in the right lane. This report is brought to you by Callaway Resort and Gardens. Celebrate the closing of summer at Callaway Resort and Gardens with the unforgettable Labor Day weekend getaway. Book now your adventure-filled stay with us today at CallawayGardens.com. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
I'm Chris Chandler, and when you join us Wednesday, starting at 5 for Atlanta's Morning News, previewing the Google gadgets in store at a big launch event, and Clark Howard's found a troublesome new wrinkle in online shopping on 95.5 WSB.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
We're all getting long in the tooth, friends. Am I right? What about your heating and cooling systems? Are they aging? Well, let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget, just $14.99 a month. Reliable Heating and Air, licensed, bonded, and insured. Amazing service. I can tell you firsthand, Reliable is the best. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just amazing coverage for as low as $14.99 a month, and next day installation guaranteed, or they pay you $500. So protect your aging heating and cooling system with the amazing folks at Reliable Heating and Air. Just $14.99 a month gives you amazing peace of mind. Get all the info and schedule a consultation online at reliableair.com. That's reliableair.com. Don't wait until your aging systems go kaput. Get your protection now at reliableair.com.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's best choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's best choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Hey, back to school means a fresh start, doesn't it? And your home deserves one, too. I'm Chris Chandler. Wise Guys Pro Wash will safely clean your home, driveway, deck, or roof, no hassle. Mention me for $70 off your next service. Book now, wiseguysprowash.com.
This historic trade agreement will further open markets in Mexico, Canada, and the United States, and it'll create jobs and generate economic growth in all 3 countries.
33 years ago, the elder President Bush announced the U.S., Canada, and Mexico reached a North American free trade agreement. You might know it as NAFTA. He immediately began the campaign after having it ratified by the Senate. NAFTA is no longer a thing. Relatedly, we have tariff news. We're going to check it with Bloomberg News. Maybe another 90-day pause on additional tariffs to China coming up in the next hour. We're going to talk to Enda Curtin from Bloomberg News about these Chinese tariff pauses. Get confirmation, Deborah. The CDC press conference is scheduled to be live at 10. And we'll do it live. We are going to carry it live here on WSB Radio. So we'll be scheduling that. We do have that guest at 10:12. So maybe give a heads up that he might have to be flexible depending on the timing of the press conference. Right. I do want to talk a couple of economic stories here first, Deborah. Yesterday, we talked about John Deere is going to invest $20 billion over the next 10 years, building more manufacturing here in the States. And now we're getting word that Ford is going to open a new EV truck plant here in the United States.
Yeah, about a $2 billion investment in Louisville, Kentucky, and they're going to focus on more affordable electric vehicles. So now they've already decided they're going to build that battery park in Michigan. They announced that a couple months ago. That's a $3 billion investment. So this is on top of that. But these EVs are going to be smaller trucks, or I guess maybe like a mid-sized truck, so the four-door ones. And it's going to start at about $30,000, which is kind of cheap when you look at trucks now. They're saying it's going to be as fast as a Mustang EcoBoost with more passenger space than a Toyota RAV4. And then it's going to have what I do not like, the frunk and a bed as well. And the frunk is because you don't have a traditional engine, that trunk becomes a front trunk.
Is she allowed to say that word?
I almost dumped that.
Frunk?
Yeah.
What's a frunk?
Yeah, that's what it's called. So have you seen those Amazon trucks, the slate ones? Remember how we talked about those bare bones ones? A lot of them don't have. Remember, like Beetles used to have the back in where the engine would be, like a trunk space. They're calling it a frunk.
I still don't know if you're allowed to say that. I still don't know if we're going to get in trouble.
Ken hasn't texted me yet.
So. All right, I'm not going to say it. Let Deborah keep saying it. But I'll tell you what, because
front trunk.
Listen, I am a tariff skeptic, but you can't deny, on the heels of John Deere's announcement and Ford now, I mean, people and Apple especially, they're bringing manufacturing back to the United States. So I think kudos are deserved to get that. Now, Ford apparently thinks EV trucks are going to be a thing. I know my friends that drive pickups are probably not going to get that EV version, but I'm not going to tell Ford what to do. Interesting. All right, Judd standing by with news, weather, and traffic. When we come back, we're going live to Pennsylvania. A massive steel plant explosion kills 2. Horrible story, but we'll get the update next in Pennsylvania on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey, it's Patrick from Zerorez. Back to school means back to routines, and a fresh, clean home is a perfect place to start. Whether it's the dirt from summer traffic, spilled snacks, or mystery stains from that movie night, Zerorez Carpet Cleaning is here to help you reset the season. Right now, take advantage of Zerorez's incredible BOGO sale. When you get 2 rooms of carpet professionally cleaned, you'll get 2 more rooms cleaned absolutely free. That's 4 rooms for the price of 2, a deal that's hard to beat. And it's not just clean, it's Zerorez clean. That means no harsh chemicals, no soapy residue, and carpets stay cleaner longer. Safe for kids, pets, and perfect for a fresh start this fall. Just mention WSB Radio when you schedule your service and use promo code BOGO at ZerorezAtlanta.com. But don't wait, this limited time offer won't stick around forever. That's ZerorezAtlanta.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards, it's the right way to clean.
Don't get fooled by window fiction. It's Ted and Jonathan from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Now they're calling it vinyl composite, but no matter how they say it, vinyl windows are still bulky, cheap, and plastic.
Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows are beautiful, not big and bulky like vinyl composite windows.
Experience the fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom. 0% interest available.
Infinity from Marvin Replacement Windows, yeah!
This year marks the 90th anniversary of Social Security, a cornerstone of financial security in America. For 9 decades, it has kept hundreds of millions of Americans out of poverty and given families across the country peace of mind and dignity in retirement. That's why AARP will never stop fighting to protect the Social Security payments you've earned. Learn more at aarp.org/protect Social Security. That's aarp.org/protect Social Security. Paid for by AARP Georgia.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News this half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story. We're about 30 minutes away from the latest planned law enforcement briefing on the deadly shooting at the CDC. An internal CDC memo to staff showing the shooter fired more than 180 shots into the Atlanta campus, breaking about 50 windows. The attack left a police officer dead, along with the gunman. We're also hearing from some CDC workers who were there Friday when the shooting began.
CDC has been vulnerable for a really long time. I think it's shocking, but not surprising.
That worker pointing out a heated anti-vaccine rhetoric around the country. Now, you can hear this morning's law enforcement press conference. It's scheduled for 10, about 30 minutes from right now, live right here on 95.5 WSB. It is currently 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we could see some heavy rain later on today. Look for scattered showers at the very least, high in the mid-80s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Well, Sandy Springs-based UPS has averted a strike in several states, including right here in Georgia.
The Teamsters Union says the shipping giant's agreeing to resolve several outstanding grievances and local contract disputes, so it's calling off a threat to put its members on the picket lines at package terminals here and in 6 other states. But Teamsters President Sean O'Brien warns the gloves are off and accuses the company of overworking drivers and part-time members, as well as failing to deliver heat relief this summer. He's urging members to be ready to punch back at a moment's notice. No response from UPS yet. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
After a long discussion, the DeKalb County School Board votes to add hundreds of vape detection devices to the district's high schools. District's Keisha Town says the devices will detect THC and nicotine products used in hard-to-detect areas like restrooms.
And send instant alerts to designated staff when thresholds are met, allowing for real-time intervention without compromising student privacy.
And she says the devices are tamper-resistant and price tag for the detectors $1.6 million. Follows a similar move last month in Midland high schools in the city of Marietta. Atlanta is proposing $1 billion in municipal bond borrowing to help fund upgrades at the world's busiest airports.
Hartsfield-Jackson is in the midst of a capital improvement plan to modernize and expand its terminals and concourses. Some of the proceeds from the bond offering will be deposited into reserve accounts.
Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti reports an estimated 108 million passengers passed through the Atlanta airport just last year. And at WSB News About Your Health, new research shows non-meat eaters may be living a healthier lifestyle after all.
The results of an 8-year study comparing meat eaters to vegetarians has found the vegetarians were 21% less likely to develop colorectal cancer, 45% less likely to develop stomach cancer, and 25% less likely to develop lymphomas.
Correspondent Vicki Barker says the cancer risk was lowest among vegans who avoid eggs and dairy along with meat. It is currently 9:33 as we check your money following this morning's Consumer Price Index, which shows prices ticked up higher for a third straight month. And we did see stock futures pointed way higher right now, showing the numbers are down across the board. Those numbers, though, could change as the bell rings this morning on Wall Street. Now, live team coverage of traffic and weather, starting the WSB 24-hour traffic center, and Mike Shields.
Judd, new snag on the east side perimeter, 285 northbound the outer loop right at Lawrenceville Highway, Highway 29, exit 38. DOT tells me that crash in a left lane that's just adding to the brake light, which starts all the way back at Covington Highway, exit 43. Before all that, had a crash working on the left shoulder, moved to the right shoulder, 25 northbound the outer loop at I-20 through downtown. Nothing but brake lights, 75-85 north and southbound still between University Avenue and 17th Street. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with heavy rain and thunderstorms through the course this afternoon and this evening. Some of these storms may produce some locally heavy downpours. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s. More scattered storms in the forecast for tomorrow with a high of 84.
Those numbers did finally update. All major indices pointed up on Wall Street as the bell rings this morning. It is currently 78 degrees right now in Alpharetta, 79 in Stockbridge, 79 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by them.
When you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
All lives matter. I lost my son to somebody trying to break in his car.
D.C. residents reacting to the possible federal D.C. takeover. We'll update that story. But coming up next, live to Pennsylvania, the steel explosion plant 2 minutes away on The Mark Arum Show.
I've found your next go-to service team for Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Audi. It's Wolf Pen European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing with certified factory techs who won't run up the tab with repairs you don't need. See the difference when you search Wolf Pen Auto Repair.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Do you have a plumbing issue but have a busy weekday schedule? Superior Plumbing can schedule an appointment that fits your schedule. They show up on time and get the job done right the first time. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years.
Allegheny County Health Department continues to monitor it. Our Department of Environmental Protection has local experts on the ground assisting the County Health Department in those efforts. And so as of now, we have not exceeded federal air quality levels.
That's Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, Austin Davis, talking about what's going on with the air quality around that steel plant explosion in Clairton, Pennsylvania. Joining us live from WPXI in Pittsburgh, Talia or Talia Kirkland?
Talia Kirkland.
Talia.
Good morning.
Good morning. First off, for folks down here in Atlanta, where in Pennsylvania is Clairton, Pennsylvania?
So Clairton, Pennsylvania is right outside of Pittsburgh.
So a suburb of Pittsburgh, or more of a rural area?
More of a rural. So you're going to be about 45 minutes outside of the city.
Gotcha. All right, so get us caught up to speed. What happened yesterday, and what's the new information this morning?
So yesterday, a call came in about 10:50 a.m. that there was an explosion at the plant. We are scrambling, trying to figure out how bad and what that means. When we arrive on the scene, we learn that there are still people trapped inside. After that explosion, there were subsequent explosions that took place. That's when we did learn that one person had died. Then we start to learn that there are still people inside. So it becomes a rescue and search mission. They were able to get one person out. The other person, they were not able. We don't find that out until the evening. So 2 people did die in this explosion.
Do we know the cause of the explosion, Talia?
No, and that's what we were pressing for yesterday from U.S. Steel leaders is what caused this explosion. They are currently and actively investigating. They said during a press conference yesterday afternoon that they did not have concerns about this area of the plant. They said everything was operating fine and they had no prior warning.
Interesting. You know, when I think of the steel industry, I think of Pennsylvania, and I think of, you know, U.S. Steel, right? The name in steel production in the U.S. This was a U.S. Steel plant?
Yes.
And how many folks worked at this plant?
So this is one of the larger plants still left in our area. I don't have the exact number of how many workers are employed there.
Interesting. I know it's still early in the investigation, but how have things been at the plant? You know, the U.S. Steel's been in the news about getting sold to Nippon Steel. Have there been layoffs? Have there been cutbacks? Have things been running normally at this plant?
So yesterday I was able to interview the mayor of Clairton, a former steel worker. So that just shows you how deep steel is in our region still. So he was saying that they were excited about the merger. Their hope is that this merger brings more resources to the plant, more resources to make sure that upgrades are done in a timely fashion. So that's what he told us yesterday. So they were optimistic, at least the mayor there, as well as some constituents, about this merger.
Got it. Two passed away, and how many injured now, Talia?
2 passed away and 10 injured right now.
10 injured. Tragic situation. Talia Kirkland, WPXI in Pittsburgh. Talia, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
There you go. I don't know, Deborah. I've never been in a steel plant, but what would cause an explosion at a steel plant?
I mean, just the temperatures of the smelting of the meal. I have no idea.
Yeah, isn't that's weird? I mean, I could imagine. That's probably a very dangerous place to work anyway. Any kind of steel plant. You're thinking about the molten steel and all, but an explosion. That's what is driving my curiosity there. No reason yet for the explosion, but interesting situation there. Talia Kirkland from WPXI, our sister TV station up in Pittsburgh. The big local story, getting new information about the CDC shooting that you heard unfold here on WSB Radio Friday evening. 10 a.m. press conference scheduled. I assume we're going to hear from authorities at the CDC, DeKalb and Atlanta Police Department, maybe the GBI and the FBI. That press conference scheduled for 10 a.m., and we will carry it live here on 95.5 WSB. All right, from Pennsylvania to Texas we go. Our buddy Jim Ryan from ABC. Jim, good morning. School's been back in Atlanta for a couple of weeks now in some districts, but school's back in session, I believe, tomorrow in Uvalde, Texas. We all, unfortunately, know the name of Uvalde, Texas because of that horrible school shooting a couple of years ago. Kids returning, though, maybe be a little bit safer due to some technology upgrades.
Yeah, and to give the teachers, to give the parents some peace of mind. Uvalde, but 4 years ago, nobody had ever heard of Uvalde. Even within Texas, people weren't sure where it was. But now, nationally, I think Uvalde is synonymous with school shootings. The Robb Elementary shooting that happened in 2022, 21 people were killed, 19 students, 2 teachers. Well, yes, when the kids go back to school tomorrow, there will be a new system in place. Now, the district, Mark, has had cameras on campuses for years and years. I mean, 550 cameras deployed across the 8 campuses. They were in place long before the shooting at Robb Elementary School. But now some technology has been added to those cameras, something called the Visual AI Gun Detection Platform. A company called OmniAlert has developed this thing. It went to Uvalde after the shooting and said, hey, we've got this system. It's added to your security cameras, and it can pick out handguns and rifles being carried by anybody in one of the buildings. Now, it has to be exposed. It can't be something that's concealed, but the camera picks it out. It then immediately alerts the security staff, starts sending text messages around so that the school can be locked down. So that will be put into place. The $440,000 grant has been given to the Uvalde School District to put this in place on its campuses.
Interesting. Jim, is this the first time this system's been installed in a school?
Well, it's not, but this is the first time that this grant has been given to a school related to this. And it's been used in other settings as well. Government has been using it for some time. Businesses have had this sort of thing available to them. But this is the first time that schools really, in any big way, are being equipped with this sort of artificial intelligence.
Interesting. I wonder if the folks, we had our own, sadly, school shooting last year at Appalachia High, which you might remember in the metro Atlanta area. They've been back in school. I wonder if that is some sort of technology that they might look at and might be able to get a grant to do some sort of detection on their school campus.
Well, potentially, I would think so. Now, OmniAlert, the company itself, is the one that gave the grant to the school. And the company has said that it's going to make this kind of grant to one school district every year. So, whether it's that one or a different one, we don't know yet. But that's kind of the goal, is to start putting this in places to give parents some peace of mind. I suspect that Uvalde schools are some of the safest in the country because of what happened in 2022. This is kind of an added layer of not only security, but peace of mind.
Jim Ryan from ABC News in Texas joining us here on the Mark Arum Show. While I have you, Jim, sadly, another shooting in Texas, this one at a Target in Austin, Texas. Yeah. Do we have any details on this?
Well, it happened yesterday afternoon at the north part of Austin, a Target store there. Somebody started hearing gunfire outside, ran outside, saw that a man with a gun had opened fire. 2 people were killed there in the parking lot. Another person was killed during the carjacking that this suspect undertook. He wrecked that car, he jumped into another car and drove off, was finally captured about 10 miles away in South Austin. Police had to use a taser on this person to get him into custody. Now, they haven't said anything about the motivation, but they believe this person has a history of mental illness. They'll be looking at that today. So far, the suspect nor his victims have been identified.
Seems like every day we have new breaking news out of Texas. Jim Ryan is always there for us. Jim, as always, appreciate your time, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
Have you been to that Target in Austin, Texas, Longoria?
I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah.
It's in North Austin. Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, so back to the AI technology improvements at Uvalde school system. Deborah, you and I have been, discussing school shootings for however long we've been together.
Long.
I've been doing it, I've been at WSB Radio almost 28 years, and it's every year we got school shootings, and no one offers a solution. Right? Everyone's horrified by these, but no one's come up with a solution how we can prevent these. Could AI be the solution that wasn't available to us 10 years ago? Can AI technology get to the point where, you see AI can detect a threat before anyone even gets into the building?
What's that movie? Minority Report?
Minority Report, yeah. I don't know if we're going to get there, where you've got the 3 women in a pool with...
But that's kind of what it is,
yeah.
right? Like it's trying to come up with ideas of what might happen by using things around you. That's basically what AI is trying to do.
It would be miraculous. Again, all the way back to Columbine, right? Was that the first high-profile school shooting? I mean, you can go back to the
first we all know of.
Yeah, you go back to like Kent State in the 60s, but like Columbine, like that changed everything. Yeah. And since then, from all the way up to the horrible shooting at Appalachia High, we all agree something must be done, but there's been no solution. Metal detectors, more security guards, have ex-cops come and work there, have armed the teachers. Like, nothing has prevented these from happening. Is AI the key? Because you think as rapidly as AI is developing, and I'm just spitballing here. This is I'm not officially making a pledge or anything when it comes to school safety. But as rapidly as AI is developing, could AI, much like a Minority Report computer, Deborah, not only so this AI detection in Uvalde can see if someone's carrying a firearm and alert folks, but can it be can it get exponentially stronger where AI is scouring every student's social media, and detecting, Frank Johnson, this 11th grader, he's posting some weird stuff instantaneously, and then, all right, we got to watch it. I mean, I know that's like...
Yeah, there's a drawback on that. Stephen King wouldn't have written books if something like that was happening.
But I don't know, because who knows where AI is going to take us. But the fact that the AI company granted, basically gave this technology to the Uvalde school, the elementary school there for free, maybe the long search for an answer to end school shootings might be the rapid development of AI. Hey, it's better than what we have now. It's better than...
They're not doing anything now.
We haven't come up with a solution yet. Maybe AI is the solution to that. Very interesting stuff there. All right, we're going to come back and update our top local stories. Again, 10 a.m. press conference. By the way, Deborah, I've got a rundown of who is going to be speaking at this press conference regarding the CDC shooting. We're going to hear from the GBI, the FBI, DeKalb Police, Atlanta Police, and University Police Department. So no one in an official capacity at the CDC will be talking, but all the police jurisdictions, GBI, FBI, DeKalb Police, APD, and the University of Emory Police Department. So that press conference will be live at 10 a.m. You'll hear it here on 95.5 WSB. Right now, though, let's go back to Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. How are we doing on the roads, Mike Shields?
Yeah, getting slow in Sandy Springs, Mark. A live look at the jam cam. A Hero unit protecting the second left lane of 285 westbound the outer loop just past Riverside Drive, exit 24. Large pile of some type of debris there. They're going to have to clear that out of the lane to reopen it, so watch out for multiple right lanes to be blocked out at one point, and delays already start back at Georgia 400, and a crash still working 285 northbound the outer loop at Lawrenceville Highway, exit 38. That's in a left lane. Delays all the way back starting at Covington Highway. This report is brought to you by your Atlanta Braves. Come see the Braves face the Mets August 22nd through the 24th. Presented by your local Ford dealer. Purchase your tickets at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
The news of the day through the eyes of Eric Von Hessler.
It's the only way to do any kind of reform of the federal government.
If it's on your mind, it's on his.
I don't remember it.
Eric Von Hessler. Today at 3.
Who are you speaking for?
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Don't miss this great deal on large avocados or mangoes. They're on sale now, 3 for only $5 with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The local folks at Breda Pest Management know my house inside and out, and they've customized a unique plan that stops bugs and critters. Hey friends, it's Mark Aram. With Breda, it's always a familiar local person servicing my home and answering my calls. Never an irritating automated call center. Breda cares more. They're our neighbors, and they'll work harder for you. Doing it better is what the Breda family does. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, you can chill by the crystal clear Gulf.
And stroll downtown St. Pete's galleries and murals.
And hang with the locals on the Skyway Fishing Pier.
And escape to secluded white sand beaches.
Secluded, huh?
Yeah, and they're spectacular.
And then grab a sandwich at the grouper capital of the world.
And maybe a nightcap at a rooftop bar with sunset views.
Okay, just a short drive away, you'll find just what you're looking for.
And then some.
Book your summer getaway at visitspc.com.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
A person can quickly master such jobs as accounting or word processing. Even use the IBM personal computer to forecast growth.
Speaking of AI, 44 years ago today, IBM introduced the first personal computer. 44 years ago today, that IBM desktop to what we have now. Just to recap, welcome back to the Mark Arum Show. I'm not asking for Big Brother to take over our lives, in reference to the AI school safety issue. But maybe there's some solution there before I get blasted on social media. No, I don't want a Big Brother society where we're watching everything. But maybe AI and its rapid development could actually lead to safer schools. I mean, maybe that's what AI was put here for, to make our schools safer and to have Deborah come up with funny pictures of Longoria and bunnies and everything else. It is pretty amazing. Grok, I
love Grok.
It is literally, it's all I do sometimes for like 15 minutes.
The latest update's even better.
I just have it make phony pictures of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Anyway, AI is a scary thing, but maybe it could be a solution. Speaking of scary, I've got a special place in my heart for our neighbors to the south in Florida. I've got family that lives there. I used to visit my grandparents there. I like going on vacation to St. Pete. But man, Florida's a scary, scary place. Cases of flesh-eating bacteria on the rise in Florida.
What exactly is flesh-eating bacteria?
This bacteria, which has the name Vibrio vulnificus, lives in briny water, warm water, along the edge of the ocean.
Dr. William Schaffner is an infectious disease specialist. He says if you have a cut on your body or get one while in the water,
this bacteria can get into that injury, get under your skin, and cause serious infection.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News. 5
people in Florida have now died, Deborah, from contracting this flesh-eating bacteria. And I don't know about you, but I always have a cut or a nick on my body somewhere. I always got a paper cut or a scrape and then you go into the water, and of all the ways to go, flesh-eating bacteria is not on the top of the list that I want. I mean, God bless. I love you, Florida, but what the hell's going on down there? It's like God's chemistry experiment. God's just playing around. It's like he's got all these beakers, and he's like, well, let's see what we can do. Let's see. We're going to test it on Florida. It's fine. We'll just test it on Florida, man. God's like, let me throw a little flesh-eating bacteria in the water, see how they react to that. Bless your heart, Florida. Bless your heart. All right, Sabrina's got your news, weather, and traffic in 3. When we come back, we will probably be in the middle of a press conference updating the CDC shooting. We're going to hear from the FBI, the GBI, Atlanta Police, DeKalb Police, and Emory Police. So the very latest on that horrible story from Friday evening. Press conference from the CDC live next on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Has the heat brought out the stink in your basement? Water damage? Musty odors? Mold? Dave Baker here. Let AquaGuard Foundation Solutions fix it once and for all and keep your basement dry year-round. Visit aquaguard.net for your free inspection.
AquaGuard. The average baby boomer's 401k? Just under $250,000. Gen X, closer to $200,000. How do your retirement savings stack up? No matter your age, the right moves today can completely change your financial future. That's why we created retirement planning at every age. A free guide with smart strategies, key milestones, and steps to stay on track. Download your copy today at yourwealth.com/resources. Let's get your future on the right track starting today.
Georgia Power has a variety of ways for customers to take control of their energy bills as we head into summer. The Georgia Power My Power Usage Alerts can send you emailed updates on how much energy you're actually using. Just go to georgiapower.com/usage and log into your account.
Interest rates are up. Will they ever come down? Who knows? Hey, it's Mark Arum. I can tell you one thing for certainty, though. You can lock in an amazing rate with my friends at Xfinity for the next 5 years. That's right. It's Xfinity's 5-year price guaranteed. One internet, same price, 5 years, and your price is guaranteed for 5 years. All in all, it means getting Wi-Fi equipment and unlimited data included for the same price for 5 years. Talk about certainty. This is an amazing deal going on right now. Interest rates will hopefully go down. They might go up. Who knows? But the one thing you can be certain of is this 5-year price guarantee for my friends at Xfinity. I want you to get started. Go to Xfinity.com or drop into an Xfinity store today. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming at Wi-Fi Xfinity, and make sure you get that 5-year price guarantee. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
News, weather. It is coming up on 10 o'clock. I'm Sabrina Cupid, and we are right now going to a news briefing from GBI headquarters here in Atlanta on the deadly CDC shooting. And let's go live now to the GBI headquarters. This is GBI Director Chris Hosey with an update on that shooting at the CDC in Atlanta.
Investigation also present here from Emory University Police Department. Members of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation also present here with us this morning. Myself and SAC Brown will be the two speakers this morning. We will open up for questions towards the end, and we will address those questions ourselves. The others up here this morning will not. They are here for solidarity, obviously in the loss of one this morning. So with that, I'll get started, and then like information and updates regarding the investigation into the incidents that occurred last Friday afternoon, August 8th, near the CDC and Emory University. Firstly, and most importantly, our hearts and prayers go to the family, friends, and colleagues of DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose, who was killed in the line of duty during this incident. He served with honor, courage, and unwavering dedication. His sacrifice will never be forgotten, and his commitment to protecting others is a profound testament to the very best of the law enforcement profession. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family, his agency, and the community which he served. Our investigation obviously began on Friday afternoon and continued throughout the night into early Saturday morning. And as I mentioned earlier, that investigation continues as we speak through our agents and assisting law enforcement conducting numerous interviews, collecting evidence, and that evidence being analyzed as well. Concerning the shooter in this case, Patrick Joseph White, during our investigation and as lastly on Friday evening, late Friday evening, his family was fully cooperating with the investigation. Our first encounter with the family came late Friday night into Saturday morning when agents and assisting law enforcement met with the parents at their residence. Here's what we can release at this time regarding the shooter and the circumstances around the investigation to this point. The shooter had no known criminal history. Evidence in this investigation indicates that the shooter had recently verbalized thoughts of suicide, which even led to law enforcement being contacted several weeks prior to the incident. A search warrant executed at the residence of the shooter revealed written documentation that expressed the shooter's discontent with the COVID-19 vaccinations. These documents are currently being examined by GBI certified profilers, and they are being shared, have been shared, and will continue to be shared with the FBI Atlanta field office. Preliminary information from DeKalb County Medical Examiner's Office indicates that Officer David Rose's injuries were caused by one of the shooter's weapons. The shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Further forensic testing of the firearms evidence will be conducted by the GBI Crime Lab. Additionally, over 500 shell casings have been recovered from the crime scene area. A total of 5 firearms, along with other evidence, has been recovered from the scene and will be submitted for further forensic testing. Close to 200 rounds impacted 6 of the CDC buildings. Electronic items seized in the case are undergoing digital forensic examination, and agents have and are continuing to conduct numerous interviews, review video evidence as well that was recovered. Currently, addition to that, currently our investigation reveals that the rounds fired by the Emory police officer did not strike the subject. The complexity of this investigation requires a great deal of collaboration, which started Friday night and continues to this day, along with information sharing between local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, many of which are represented here today. We don't anticipate any further updates at this time. However, if anything pertinent is developed concerning this investigation, you will be notified and it will be posted on our website. I'll now call Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown to the podium.
Thank you, Director Hosey. I'm Paul Brown, the Special Agent in Charge of the FBI Atlantis Division. Thank you for being here with us today. First, I want to recognize Officer Rose, who responded, one of the first on the scene, and died a hero protecting his community. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Officer Rose's family, friends, and colleagues. So the FBI responded along with our partners Friday night. And as Director Hosey said, with nearly 500 rounds fired and nearly 200 rounds striking facilities on the CDC campus, that's been a focus of ours to process that scene. So late into Friday night, members of the FBI SWAT, along with special agents, went through room by room, clearing the facilities on the CDC campus to make sure no one was struck, there was no victims on that campus with that many rounds being fired onto the campus. I'm glad to say that everyone was safely evacuated, to include all the children in the daycare, and they're reunified with their families. We then worked with the Atlanta Police Department evidence technicians, the FBI's evidence response team, to document the shots into the facility and continue to assist the investigation. I've made every resource available within the FBI to Director Hosey, the GBI, and our partners to assist this investigation. We'll continue to do so. Thank you.
As I mentioned earlier, we know that we have recovered video evidence, continue to examine that. We encourage anybody, we know that there's a lot of cell phones out there, that if there's video evidence that would be pertinent to this investigation, or if they have information that they can provide to the investigation, to please contact us. As you know, that can be done through our tip line at 1-800-597-TIPS or 1-800-597-8477. They can also utilize our See Something, Send Something app that is available on Android and iPhones. You can attach videos to those entries, and it can be anonymous if they so choose. There's a choice there for that. And also on our, it can be submitted online through our website, that we can provide that information if you need it. So at this time, we will open up briefly for some questions.
Hey there, Skyler Henry with CBS News. One of the things that we've heard from healthcare workers over the last several days is that they've been concerned about threats based off of misinformation and disinformation tied to vaccines. Is there an assessment, either from you or from Special Agent in Charge, about the threat level as it relates to healthcare workers? Has there been an uptick in the days since or prior to?
Threats of that nature is always something we take very seriously and we look at. We've not seen an uptick, although any rhetoric that suggests or leads to violence is something we take very seriously. So that's something we're very sensitive to. We're going to respond to quickly should we see it in the future, but although we're tracking it, we're sensitive to it, we have not seen that uptick.
Director, we
you talk a little bit about the investigation so far? I noticed one, we haven't seen a good picture of the suspect itself. Will you guys be releasing one? And then, because of so many rounds, can you discuss what kind of weapons were used? I know there were probably 2 rifles and a shotgun and some handguns, but that's a lot of rounds. Can you talk about how he was able to put those down on that building, if you don't mind?
So, first question with the picture. We'll be sending that picture out later this afternoon. What we do encourage is that the public remembers the face of the officer this next week, especially. I'm not here to publicize the individual, but we do see the importance of that photograph being put out. It will not be on our website, but we will provide it to you here today. Secondly, on the 5 firearms that were recovered, it was a mixture, I believe, of, I know, rifles, a shotgun, and maybe a handgun. I'm not completely sure on that. The majority, I believe, of the shell casings recovered were from a long gun rifle.
Were those weapons registered to him or somebody else? Do you know when they were purchased? How, where?
Don't know when they were purchased. Thanks to great work and quick work by ATF on Friday and Saturday and over the weekend, it was determined that the weapons belonged to the father. And as we mentioned, he was interviewed over the weekend, but they did belong to the father.
With 200 rounds, I think you said 200 rounds impacting 6 CDC buildings. We know that there was the daycare there. Can you just give us a sense of the proximity of those rounds, the people who were there, and what level
I'm not sure of the location.
How serious this could have been?
I'm not sure of the locations of the rounds that were impacted there. And it was, I believe I mentioned, it was up close to 200 rounds that impacted 6 different buildings. And the exact locations of where the round struck, I'm not familiar with.
Can you give us any more specifics about the evidence you said you found regarding White's discontent with the vaccine, like what that looked like, or what we know, if we know anything else?
It was, we're basing that off some of the documentation that we recovered. I would describe it as more of a public awareness. There was no direct threat, as I'll refer to it within it, but it was his making the public aware, in his words, of his discontent with the vaccines itself.
You suggested that the suspect was on law enforcement's radar in the weeks prior to the shooting. Was that mainly about his own welfare and his suicidal ideations, or was there any indication that he might carry out some sort of violence?
Well, we're aware that there were law enforcement contacts made with him prior to it. We know within weeks prior to it. Currently this time, our investigators are getting with the law enforcement that made those contacts and finding out what the details of that were.
We know that according to a law enforcement source that during the warrant you guys may have found some medication that he was on. Can we talk about maybe his health makeup just a little bit at this point? Do you have any indications about, was he suffering from any mental health issues that he had medication for? Can we talk about that at all?
I can't speak to that at this time.
When you said there was some public awareness in the documentation that you found, are you talking about social media posts, or what do you mean by that?
No, just basically the overall content of one of the documents was more of wanting to make the public aware of his distrust of the vaccines.
There was one of the 911 calls where it sounded like it came from his father that he had spoken to a specific officer before. Was that with the CDC or Emory? And I mean, did they have this man's name on their radar before this?
Not to my knowledge. I've not heard the 911 call, but I'm sure we will at some point and dig into that and see where it is pertinent to the investigation. But I apologize.
Is there protocol in place when someone has suicidal ideations to restrict them from being able to access weapons? Or how was he able to access them?
So all indications in our investigation was that they were secured and that he forced his way into the safe that contained the weapons.
A lot of CDC employees are worried about returning back to the building. They're working from home mostly this week, but are there any plans to work with them to up security in the area, or has there been a conversation about what that looks like moving forward?
Well, Paul may have more to add to that, but I know at our level we are in communication with CDC security, providing them any information that they need concerning now and in the present for security purposes, and we'll continue to do that with them. Anything to add to that?
That's right. And we'll work with them on doing a threat assessment to their facility. And certainly, if we become aware of any threats to their personnel or their campus, we would make them aware of that and take steps to protect them.
I know when some couple CDC employees asked maybe would there be physical changes to the outside of the building. I don't know if you would even have that in your purview, but could you talk about whether or not there would be any physical changes to maybe either the guard shack or the building that faces the street like this one does?
I wouldn't be in a position to answer that for the CDC. They're going through an assessment process now, so that's really a decision based on the results of that assessment. If they come to the conclusion that's necessary, then they take those steps.
Can we talk about his arrival to the guard shack and what, if anything, was said and how they turned him away?
I'm not familiar with the exact path taken that day. The majority of the crime scene that we examined was specifically in the intersection around the CVS pharmacy.
What about Officer Rose's arrival on scene? Did he have the chance to even get out of the car, or was he ambushed as soon as he arrived?
I'm not going to go into the details of that at this time. It's enough to know that Officer Rose was doing his job and encountered gunfire, and unfortunately he passed as a result of that. I apologize.
When you said that there were documents, or you said you wanted to make the public aware that you didn't trust vaccines, what do you mean by documents? Is there a letter or a memo, or you said it was social media?
It was a writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If the weapons were secure in a safe, did he have a key to the safe? Did he
No.
get a key? Did he break in? How did he get it?
He broke into it.
Can you clarify where he was shooting from, the suspected gunman, in terms of the CVS, how high up?
Again, the majority of the crime scene that we examined was in that intersection close to the corner by CVS.
One more question. Was he firing anywhere else besides the CDC building? From your knowledge, was he firing at anywhere else in the area inside the CVS?
Besides, I'm sorry.
Was he firing anywhere else besides exactly at those CDC buildings, or were there shots inside the CVS? Can you explain that?
All I can tell you there is the majority of the rounds in that direction we know struck the buildings. And past that, I'm not sure.
Thank you for being here today. This concludes our news conference.
All right, you have
Thank
been
you.
listening now live to a news briefing from the GBI and FBI. That was at the GBI headquarters here in Atlanta. And there is new information on that CDC shooting. In case you are just joining us, GBI Director Chris Hosey saying the shooter, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, shot himself. More than 500 shell casings found, 5 firearms at the scene. About 200 rounds, we are told, impacted CDC buildings. And it was also revealed during that briefing that you just heard live that the weapons did belong to the suspect's father. Now, those weapons were secured, but he forced himself into the safe where they were being stored, according to the FBI and the GBI. They also say that White did have a discontent with the COVID vaccine, also a distrust of the vaccines, and they found that out in some writings that the shooter left behind. GBI saying they are right now in constant contact with CDC security and will respond if there are any new threats. They are asking anybody who may have video of that shooting on Friday to pass it along to law enforcement. And a lot of folks have been asking about a picture, and I know, Mark Arum, you and I were talking about this,
Yes.
a picture of the suspect, if it's going to be released. And we learned during this news briefing that they are going to be releasing it today. Of course, once we get that, we will post it for you on our website. But that is what you just heard live here on WSB.
All right, thank you, Sabrina. A lot of new information there, and yes, we will finally get a picture, a confirmation picture of the suspect. A couple of things that stood out for me, Sabrina, in that I believe it was the first speaker. You mentioned that almost 200 bullets hit the CDC buildings, but they uncovered 500 shell casings.
Right.
So the suspect shot 500 times. And apparently hit the buildings of the CDC. I thought it was a really good question because we know he was denied entry into the CDC at first from security, and then I guess went to his plan B at the CVS. But we didn't get any details of what that interaction went down. Another headline, Sabrina, the confirmation from the authorities there that the suspect did take his own life,
right,
and was not shot by at all by any of the law enforcement that were arriving on the scene. So a lot of new information there. And Serena, was it 5 firearms that they recovered on the scene, I believe?
Yes, 5 firearms, and they were secured in his father's safe. He broke into that safe and got the firearms, according to the GBI. And the father, as we have heard in previous reporting, that he had actually had law enforcement come out to their home before because of situations with the son being suicidal. So he had a bit of a history there.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to play some audio of 911 audio you heard on Atlanta's Morning News. This is Joseph Patrick White's father, who owned the guns that his son, I guess, apparently broke into the safe. He called Cobb County's 911 to issue concern, and then he said he tried to call DeKalb County.
Can't get any information from anybody. I've called the DeKalb County 911 number 3 times and left detailed information.
Yeah, I mean, you could hear it in his voice, the level of concern there. And obviously with the Gray shooting and the father being charged in the Appalachia High shooting, I would imagine different scenario considering these firearms were in a safe. They were locked up, but his son broke into the safe. I don't know if I missed this, Sabrina. Did we get any more information about the suspect himself?
Not a whole lot, only that his father had called authorities before, and that he had some writings. And I don't know, I couldn't get from this briefing if those writings were found at the scene of the shooting or if they were at the home, about how he distrusted the vaccine for COVID-19 and how he had thought that it perhaps had influenced his health and his mental state.
Yeah, it was kind of nebulous whether he had the writings on him, and it was where his body was recovered, or if they found him when they searched the home. Mark Arum and Sabrina Cubit here, recapping the press conference you heard live on WSB Radio. We heard from the FBI, the GBI. Sabrina, did we hear from Atlanta and DeKalb police?
They were there, but they did not speak. They said that they were there basically for support and just to be there. But no, we did not actually hear from the Atlanta police or the Emory police chief, but they were there.
Yeah, we heard some really good questions asked in that press conference about poor Officer Rose, who lost his life, trying to get more information of did he have a chance? Like he just arrived on the scene. The authorities didn't want to offer much into that. But obviously still an absolute horrible story. There was one question, Sabrina, that was asked of the authorities about have they seen an uptick in threats to facilities and organizations like the CDC. And they said they hadn't seen an uptick prior to this, or I don't believe even post this attack on Friday.
Right. And if you've been to the CDC, I know a lot of people are talking about security there, but any of us I've been there covering stories, you don't just drive in. I mean, there's a big, you cannot get in there. But, there is a question about how could he be across the street and shoot into the building. But, I think they've taken all the steps they could. And if somebody's intent on doing something, they find a way to do it.
Yeah, and but what I find, I'm very familiar with that entry too. The shopping center across where that CVS is, I'm there all the time. Usually, I don't know if you've seen this, if you go in that entrance when you go to the CDC to cover stories, but there's usually a lone protester out there with signs. I wonder if he'd packed up, if he had clocked out for the evening. At 5 p.m. I'm not sure when he leaves, but there's usually one guy there with all these. He's protesting something, but I wonder if he was cleared from the scene or not. That was one of the first things I thought. This protester was going to be caught up in that. All right, a very interesting situation. Again, we are expected to get a photograph of the suspect, now deceased, Joseph Patrick White. As soon as that is released, we'll put it up on WSBRadio.com. It's so odd to me, Sabrina, that, we're, 4 days out now from the shooting, and we still have no idea what the shooter looks like, which leads me to believe that at 30 years old, he had zero social media presence, which is very strange these days.
It is, and of course, once we get the news here, we always go into research mode and try to find out everything we can about folks. But it was difficult to find anything on him.
Yeah, indeed. Joseph Patrick White. Again, the firearms that he used, 5 were recovered from the crime scene. Apparently, were stolen from his father's gun safe. And again, we heard the 911 audio of a very concerned father worried about his son. And we got a lot of 911 log info that they had a lot of calls to the residents over the past couple of years. So, I mean, obviously a tragic situation. I did pull some audio while we were in the press conference. The mother of Officer Rose was interviewed by Channel 2 yesterday. This is the mother talking about her son killed in the line of duty. But before he served in DeKalb Police Department, he was a Marine. Let's hear from
I said, the
Officer Rose's mom.
Marines, and he said, yes. I said, I thought you wanted to be a police officer in the force or something. He said, yeah, that's my dream, but I'm going to do the Marines. He lived fearless, knowing that someone is going to have to be there to protect people.
And his wife is pregnant with their 3rd right now.
She's holding up as much as she can. It's still unbelievable for her. He would do it again. He would do it again. Without even questioning, he would put his life on the line for anyone.
I forgot about that, Deborah, that his wife is expecting. Yeah. Just unbelievable. Rest in peace, Officer Rose. I am sure the family will be taken care of by the DeKalb Police Association, and the pension will transfer to her. But I mean, just emotional to lose your husband fresh, graduated number 1 in his class of the academy, was asked to speak at the graduation, just starting his law enforcement career after serving honorably in the Marines, and losing his life in such a tragic way. Getting some audio now from the press conference you heard live here on WSB. This is GBI Director Chris Hosey.
The shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Further forensic testing of the firearms evidence will be conducted by the GBI Crime Lab.
Yeah, so that's new information. We obviously knew that the suspect was dead, Joseph Patrick White, but we did not know how he died, if he died by return gunfire or if he killed himself. There, GBI Director Chris Hosey says he did die from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. More from Director Hosey.
Additionally, over 500 shell casings have been recovered from the crime scene area.
I'm not a gun expert, Deborah, but that's a lot of ammunition. 500 shell casings from the scene. Now, the GBI director didn't say if they were all, those 500 were all from the suspect's gun, or if they're all a combination of law enforcement. But the way he couched it sounded like it was 500 shells shot by Joseph Patrick White. Just an unbelievable story. And again, the authorities will release a picture. I wonder if they had to get it from his dad, if they asked his father for a picture of his son to get out, and because so many people have been calling for it.
Strange.
Yeah, indeed. One more cut.
He's
Go ahead, Deborah. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just that he's 30 years old. He's a millennial that grew up in the digital age, and there's nothing on him.
That stands out considerably. All right, one more cut from the GBI director, Chris Hosey.
Evidence in this investigation indicates that the shooter had recently verbalized thoughts of suicide, which even led to law enforcement being contacted several weeks prior to the incident.
Indeed. And we've heard theories that, he blamed the COVID vaccine for these suicidal thoughts. But not to be lost in this whole story. In the new update, Officer Rose and his family, his expectant wife, his mom, we heard from. Horrible story. We're going to unpack, get some more cuts for you from that. New information at that CDC shooting, the fatal shooting on Friday on Clifton Road in DeKalb County. All right, we'll update news, weather, and traffic in 3 minutes. We'll come back. Scott Slade's going to join us live. He was monitoring the press conference as well. We'll get his reaction to the CDC shooting. He joins us live next on The Mark Arum Show.
You worked hard for your 401k, but if you've left your job, your money might be sitting in the wrong hands. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and it's very possible that the 401k that you have had for years has hidden fees and limited investment choices. But if you're no longer with the company, that 401k may be at the mercy of your former employer. All of these things could be costing you thousands. Rolling over your 401k into an IRA can provide better investment options that align with your long-term goals. At Trajan Wealth, we're fiduciary advisors that are held to a higher standard with no hidden agenda and no hidden fees. Don't let your retirement dollars sit in an old plan, and don't roll it over to your new plan without consulting Trajan Wealth first. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Advisory services are offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't just take my word for it. For over 20 years, you've heard me on the radio sharing remodeling advice. But if you really want to know what sets Exovations apart, go read our reviews. You'll see words like amazing work, incredible experience from start to finish, and again, stress-free. But don't just listen to me. Listen to our reviews. Google Exovations or visit EXOVATIONS.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk. It is 10:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by your Metro Atlanta Amco dealers. We do have breaking new information this morning on the CDC shooting.
Currently, our investigation reveals that the rounds fired by the Emory police officer did not strike the subject.
GBI Director Chris Hosey at a news briefing you heard live here on WSB saying the shooter, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, shot and killed himself. More than 500 shell casings found at the scene, 5 firearms, about 200 rounds impacting the CDC buildings. It was revealed that the weapons belonged to the suspect's father. They were secured, but he forced himself into that safe where the weapons were stored. The GBI saying they were aware of this person.
Evidence in this investigation indicates that the shooter had recently verbalized thoughts of suicide, which even led to law enforcement being contacted several weeks prior to the incident.
Now, GBI saying White did have a discontent with the COVID vaccines, a distrust of them, and that was in some writings that the shooter had left behind. A photo of the suspect being released. We will post it on our website once we get it. All right, your weather for today. Mostly cloudy, heavy rain, a few thunderstorms throughout the day, and a high of 85. We'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. After a long discussion, the DeKalb County School Board votes to add hundreds of vape detection devices to the district's high schools. The district's Keisha Towns says the devices would detect THC and nicotine products used in hard-to-detect areas like restrooms.
And send instant alerts to designated staff when thresholds are met, allowing for real-time intervention without compromising student privacy.
She says the devices would also be tamper-resistant. The price tag for the detectors, $1.6 million. President Trump is expected to extend a tariff truce with China. Ira Spitzer reporting that the president has signed an executive order keeping tariffs at current levels for another 90 days and setting the stage for additional negotiations.
The tariff truce between Washington and Beijing was due to expire at midnight, which would have triggered triple-digit duties on goods moving in both directions. Instead, President Trump extended the lower tariffs, keeping U.S. duties on Chinese imports at about 30%.
And pre-existing tariffs bring the actual figure to 55% for most Chinese goods. China's base tariff on American goods will hold at 10%. The U.S. is asking Beijing for a commitment to boost exports of rare earth minerals to the United States. Inflation is up a little bit less than expected. July numbers out today from the Labor Department showing the Consumer Price Index, a general measure of how much people are paying for goods and services, and a key inflation indicator, was up 0.2% from June. That's about 0.1% less than what analysts had been expecting. Year over year, the rate is at 2.7%. And the markets like that news. The Dow's up 389 at 44,364. So the Dow's up almost a full percent. NASDAQ's up more than 0.5%, and so is the S&P. It's time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Ashley Frasca's in the 24-hour traffic center.
Believe it or not, double trouble in Doraville. If you're traveling 285 westbound, police are with a stalled tanker truck in the center lanes at Peachtree Boulevard, and then delays the other direction coming out of Dunwoody. 285 eastbound, police just arrived on scene of a crash in the right center lanes. That is at Buford Highway. And we had a slowdown downtown, but the better news, a crash on 7585 northbound near Peachtree Pine Street. That has cleared to the shoulder. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with heavy rain and thunderstorms through the course this afternoon and this evening. Some of these storms may produce some locally heavy downpours. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s. More scattered storms in the forecast for tomorrow with a high of 84.
77 degrees in Duluth. Douglasville has 76, and it's 78 degrees here in Midtown. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. 95.5 WSB.
Don't be late because you crowdsourced your commute with a navigation app.
This might become a travel advisory. Yeah, they're in 2 left lanes.
Depend on us. See some delays if they shut that ramp down.
Make sure you get where you need to be on time.
Jam starting at Langford Parkway, getting past Spring Street.
Local and dependable traffic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We had a lot going on this morning through Henry County.
WSB Triple Team Traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
Thanks to great work and quick work by the ATF on Friday and Saturday and over the weekend, it was determined that the weapons belonged to the father.
Reaction to the new information on Friday's CDC shooting. Scott Slade joins us live on the Mark Arum Show in 2 minutes.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Arum. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years, and Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com. Let me tell you, folks, Breda has got the bugs beat at the Arum house. Hey, it's Mark Arum, and my local friends at Breda Pest Management know my house inside and out. They've customized a unique treatment plan that stops any bugs and critters. And let's face it, we live in Georgia. We have bugs. We have a lot of bugs. We have critters. We have a lot of critters. We don't want the bugs and critters inside our home. That's where Breda comes in. With Breda, always a familiar, local person servicing my home and answering my calls, never an irritating automated call center. And the folks that come to my house, they're friendly, they're nice, they do an amazing job, and they care. Breda cares more and will work harder for you. They're our neighbors, and they've invested in our community, and doing it better is what the Breda family does. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. Get started at BREDAPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
All Care is expert urgent care and primary care under a single roof, offering convenience and continuity for your healthcare needs. All Care is a proud member of Piedmont Clinic with a team of physicians and clinicians who know you and your medical history, so they can provide the personalized care you deserve. And with both family and immediate care services offered 7 days a week at 15 Atlanta area locations, All Care also means saying goodbye to waiting days and days to see the doctor. Same-day appointments are available and walk-ins are welcomed. Remember, urgent care plus primary care equals All Care.
Officer Rose was doing his job and encountered gunfire, and unfortunately he passed as a result of that.
Oh, man, so sad. GBI Director Chris Hosey there briefing you heard live here moments ago on 95.5 WSB, updating the CDC shooting from Friday evening. Continuing our team coverage, joining us live, as he does every Tuesday at this time, our good friend Scott Slade. Scott, good morning, buddy.
Mark, good morning. Yes, I'm so glad you took the time to air the news conference. The GBI is the lead investigative organization here, being assisted obviously by the FBI, DeKalb, Emory University Police, APD, and even members of the, the Health and Human Services Department. And boy, some sobering details came out of that. I mean, a massive crime scene here. 500 rounds? That's unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out how heavy that would have been for the shooter, Patrick Joseph White, to get all that and the 5 guns up into his firing position once he was thankfully turned away from the gate at the CDC across the street.
I would imagine, Scott, that that stretch of Clifton Road, you've got the CDC on one side, you've got the small businesses on the other, that there's got to be security camera footage. That hopefully will be released at some point. Obviously some might be redacted because of just the sheer brutality of it. But as you mentioned, 500 rounds. He had 5 guns. Was he carrying all of those when he went up to the CDC checkpoint to try to get in that way?
I don't know. That's a very good question. And as Sabrina pointed out, I mean, that they do secure that campus. And you'll hear from some of the CDC employees in their union here in just a moment, the kinds of safety enhancements that they are requesting after this happened. But the fact that 500 rounds were shot, 200 of them impacted 6 buildings, and other than the unimaginable tragic loss of Officer David Rose, there were no other injuries. And that, to me, is amazing and a gift from God when you get right down to it.
Yeah, remarkable.
Authorities found written materials expressing discontent with COVID vaccines in the shooter's home. The father, and this was pointed out, and as you pointed out earlier as well, tried to warn police before and after hearing about the attack that was underway, saying his son may have been involved. And I did not know about that detail about the gun safe being broken into at the home where Joseph Patrick White was still living with his parents. That to me is an interesting part of the story, and I'm also impressed with how careful this investigation is. No one's rushing out with, at least from the police, with conspiracy theories. They're following the evidence. They're being very careful along the way here, and I know a lot of people are grateful for that. Have you heard about this GoFundMe for Officer Rose and his family?
Tell me about it.
Yeah, more than $340,000.
Wow,
have already been collected. And donations are pouring in. They have a goal for over $500,000. I'm almost certain they will reach that and go beyond. Officer Rose leaves behind a pregnant wife and 2 children here.
I'm sorry, Scott. If you can, Deborah, while Scott and I are discussing, if you could try to find that verified GoFundMe page, and I will absolutely share it on the air and then share it on social media, because I would assume that Officer Rose's pension, he served in the Marines, and obviously being killed in the line of duty, that the family would get some sort of compensation. But the fact that the general public has already raised over $300,000 is remarkable.
Yeah, it truly is. And Director Hosey did not want to go into details on how Officer Rose lost his life. There'll be plenty of time to get to that. The shooting obviously has elevated some conversations about public health disinformation. Some Democratic leaders are excoriating the health secretary for promoting vaccine disinformation and mistrust. And credit to him, Secretary Kennedy visited the CDC campus on Monday, saying workers should not be targeted by this kind of violence. But he wouldn't have had many employees to speak with, Mark. They were all told to work from home through the end of the week, which leads us to how many of those employees are feeling about the attack and what should be done about their safety going forward. I tuned into the news conference last night from the American Federation of Government Employees, local, and this is their view, their side of where things stand. Their local president, Yolanda Jacobs, was among those laying out demands for a safer working environment, and here's part of what she had to say.
And some of our demands are, and this is not just AFGE making this demand, these are employee concerns. One is 24/7 perimeter security with armed guards all across CDC campuses. One of the things that we noted was that our security guards only carry handguns, and we know that a long gun was what was used in this attack. So we're looking at ways that our armed guards can be just as armed as an opposing force attempting to get onto campus. Installation of bulletproof glass, weapon detection procedures, and emergency exits. We have security concerns at some of our lease properties as well, which would include like Century Center, Shamley, with open access and limited controls. We're also going to be requesting more extensive evacuation planning for vulnerable staff, the disabled, pregnant, people with other reasonable accommodation concerns, advocacy for uniform exemptions for like the Commission Corps at non-secure sites to reduce visibility at federal targets, because Commission Corps that are returning to the office have been requested to return in uniform, and they've been told that the only alternative for them is to have on civilian clothes and then put on their uniforms once they're in the building. So, there's this extra measure being, put in place like that. But those are just some of the things we are looking at as far as physical security goes.
Now, that's Yolanda Jacobs. She's the president of the local chapter of the American Federation of Government Employees. They're also asking, Mark, for a better alert system, too. Jacobs says Emory University's alert went out 30 minutes before anything came in from the CDC itself.
Wow, 30 minutes.
That's what she says, yeah. So that's something that's going to have to be looked at here.
I've got friends that work at the CDC, and they're obviously still shaken up, and again, they don't have to go into work this week, which I think is a blessing, that they can work remotely. But I think lost in this fact, and this all stems from, a majority of this stems from the pandemic and the anti-vaccine stance that a lot of Americans took, right or wrong. But if you look at what the work that the CDC has done, I'm not talking about the head of the CDC. I'm not talking about, upper management, but the folks that go in the millions, and this isn't hyperbole, Scott, the millions of lives that the folks at the CDC have saved over the years. I mean, millions of lives and the work they're doing there, not just benefiting us in the United States, but global impact. Like, they are the experts. If there's an outbreak in Africa, in Asia, in Europe, they come to the CDC for guidance. It's just crazy that they have to work in an environment of hate like that.
Yeah. And a lot of people would agree with you on that, too, because they're science-based. I mean, sure, there's obviously some politics involved here over who gets the lead chair. But everything below that, they have a scientific protocol that adds into all this. And, you could argue their employees deserve a safe atmosphere to do that. Now, let me go back to something very quickly here, if we got a few seconds here. Yolanda Jacobs was saying this, and I'm glad someone asked the questions about how the workers feel now. How are they doing now?
A lot of employees are pretty much telling us the same thing, that they do not feel safe, that they do not feel safe enough to return to the office. They especially are not looking forward to returning to an office where there's still, either boarded up windows or bullet holes in windows. And we have to also consider that some of those bullets actually entered the building. So it's not just where it was outside surface damage. There was damage to the interior as well. So a lot of these employees, they're traumatized. It's not every day they wake up to get shot at, so this is something that is going to take them a while to process. And that is why we are making the demands that we are, is because we've heard what those employees have had to say.
I can only imagine what the casualty list would have looked like if this had happened a few hours earlier during the day.
Oh, yes.
When more people were in their offices. And as far as the call for a security enhancement, a security survey of the campus, and I'm glad the GBI and the FBI handled that question at the news conference today.
But I know at our level we are in communication with CDC Security, providing them any information that they need concerning now and in the present for security purposes, and we'll continue to do that with them. Anything to add to that?
That's right. And we'll work with them on doing a threat assessment to their facility. And certainly, if we become aware of any threats to their personnel or their campus, we would make them aware of that and take steps to protect them.
Yeah. And keep in mind, too, Mark, there are actually CDC facilities across Metro Atlanta in plain office buildings that are not part of the campus.
Yeah.
So those people especially are saying, yeah, well, what about us?
Unbelievable. Again, we are going to get our first image released from the authorities of Joseph Patrick White at some point today. We'll post it on WSBradio.com and our social media outlets. Scott, great stuff as always. Thanks for jumping on this big breaking news story, my friend.
Mark, thank you for covering it. It's always a pleasure.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Scott Slade, everybody. All right, quick break. When we come back, we have movement in the Chinese tariff negotiations. We're going to check in with Bloomberg News. First, though, we got some delays on old 285. Live to the traffic center, Ashley Frasca.
In both directions in Doraville, actually, we've got a stalled tanker truck. Police are with it in the center lanes of 285 westbound at Peachtree Boulevard. And then a crash. Fire department taking out 3 to 4 right lanes, 285 eastbound in the other direction at Buford Highway, and now trying to uncover brand new trouble. A big slowdown on I-20 eastbound rolling past Six Flags. Traffic brought to you by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's Pest-Free 365 service. For your free, no-obligation quote, call or visit ActivePestControl.com today. I'm Ashley Frasca, 95.5 WSB.
Everyone has an opinion.
We have become an idiotic nation that doesn't know how to even debate anything, so it doesn't surprise
Eric
me.
Von Hessler has an opinion.
You will still age.
And some advice.
Start doing things when you're younger. Drink a lot of water.
Eric Von Hessler, today at 3.
And you will still die.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Despite last week's amazing drop in temperatures, the calendar still says it's summer, and so do my friends at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. Summer rolls on, and so does their summer sales event. On right now for a limited time, I want you to get the details and schedule your free consultation. Simple and easy, guys. Call 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR. Summer savings event is their best offer ever. More hair for your buck. Plus, Advanced Hair Simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. Absolutely the best in hair restoration, my friends at Advanced Hair. One-day treatment, life-changing results with Advanced Hair, your new hair guaranteed to grow. And if you get a second, check out the incredible before and after pictures at advancedhair.com and schedule your consultation. Free consultation for their best offer ever, 470-660-HAIR, advancedhair.com.
You know how many times people call me to fix their garage door so they can sell their house? For years, they put up with the squeaking and the jamming, or they don't even use it because they lost the remote. Then when it comes time to sell, they fix it up nice for the next guy. For the exact same money, you can fix it up now and enjoy it yourself while you still live there. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. An expert repair, replacement remote, or garage door tune-up will give you years of trouble-free service. Works great for you, works great for the next guy when you decide to sell. Because you deserve to live in a house as nice as the real estate ad you're going to write about it. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and maybe enjoy your garage door so much you decide not to move. Think of the money that'll save.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Exciting news for homeowners out there. This is Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. My team and I are now proud partners with the iconic real estate brand, The Agency. As we launch the Atlanta market, we now have multiple offices covering Metro Atlanta. What this means for you as a home buyer or seller is that you will now have access to the agency's global resources. In this changing market, it is essential to hire the most experienced agency to represent you. And if you're a seller, you'll get the agency's proprietary marketing, which brings you more buyers, more offers, and ultimately sell your home for more money. My team and I are here for you as your real estate experts. In the meantime, we have all your answers about real estate every Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on WSB. And you can always reach out to me at InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, now partners with the Agency Atlanta.
Georgia Power is here for you with programs, tools, and incentives that lower your bill. But we also have a few ways you can save right now. Unplug devices like TVs when they're not being used, or use a power strip you can switch off. Make sure you're only using the lights you need. Change out your HVAC filter and make sure your vents are clear. Set your thermostat at 78 for max efficiency. But every degree closer helps, because everything we save on energy can be better spent being there for the people we care about. Visit GeorgiaPower.com for more energy-saving tips.
It's not going away, that spot you're trying to ignore on the ceiling, and it's only going to get worse.
Hey, it's Dave Baker, host of the Home Fix-It Show for my experts at Findlay Roofing. The roof guys. Your roof is long overdue to be replaced, and now Findlay has 0% financing available, so it's even easier to get a new roof. Get started today with a Findlay Roofing free roof analysis, then take advantage of the 0% financing available. FindlayRoofing.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
We then worked with the Atlanta Police Department evidence technicians, the FBI's evidence response team, to document the shots into the facility and continue to assist the investigation.
That's FBI agent special in charge Paul Brown. You heard live in the press conference here on 95.5 WSB, updating the tragic shooting Friday evening at the CDC. Continuous updates throughout the day on 95.5 WSB. Want to talk tariffs? Joining us live from Bloomberg News, Edna Curran. Ed, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
I'm not going to lie, I've been getting whiplash with all the tariff news we've been following, but obviously the big elephant in the room with our major Chinese trading partners, are we looking at another pause now when it comes to additional tariffs with Chinese goods?
Yeah, look, there is a lot going on in this space, but in terms of the China trade, the latest news is President Trump has extended that pause now on Chinese goods for about another 90 days. That gets us into early November. So that will keep the official tariff rate of around 30% on goods coming in from China, but the effective rate, depending on the product, is higher than that. Now, what this means is, A, tariffs will stay where they are, and B, it opens up a new window for negotiations on all these critical issues like critical minerals, export controls, excess capacity, soybeans, fentanyl, and the like. And some observers say it could all be part of a plan to lead towards an agreement between China and the U.S. at some point in the fall when the two leaders meet, President Trump, President Xi. It's one possibility, but obviously, there are likely to be a lot of bumps in the road before we get to that point, given the disagreement between both sides.
Just doing the math on this, 90 days would take us into early to mid-November, right up against the Christmas holiday rush. Is that a factor in these negotiations, getting things done before the holidays?
Well, I'm sure it is, but there are some mechanics in this. I mean, in terms of goods for the holiday season, those goods are probably already being ordered as we speak right now and should be on the waters coming from China and the rest of Asia over that September-October period. So in some respects, the peak holiday kind of goods won't be affected one way or another by this. But the other point is, of course, we had inflation data today that painted something of a mixed picture. It doesn't really show a broad-based breakout of inflation pressures on goods yet, but economists are warning that those prices are probably going to start feeling some pressure from these tariffs in the months ahead. The story isn't finished yet. So to your point, there is that November deadline, but I don't necessarily think it will impact the price of holiday goods necessarily.
Edna Curran, Bloomberg News, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. Last week, the big tariff news was the supplementary tariffs that the United States is now putting on India because they buy Russian Federation oil. I would assume China is a big consumer of Russian Federation oil. Might we see more tariffs regarding that in this 90-day pause?
Well, it's been a talking point, and it's one of the points that observers make that U.S.-China relations have probably been more stable than broadly expected, really. You have to look at this through buckets. There's a trade window. There's a national security window, for example. And we haven't yet seen any move by President Trump to take this kind of measures against China that he has against India, that may yet happen. But don't forget, China has leverage, and they have leverage over the critical minerals, in particular the magnets that are crucial to U.S. manufacturers. That certainly has proved to be an important variable in the talks this time around. So while on the one hand President Trump can make threats against China, China has some cards up its own sleeve too.
Indeed. And great stuff, as always. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
There you go. Markets reacting positively. Enda mentioned the CPI report in July. Dow up 440 points, NASDAQ $130, and S&P's up 400. So all in the green there. We'll come back, update our top local stories. It's the Mark Arum Show on 95.5 WSB.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Roaches are everywhere and just a part of life here in Georgia. This is Scott Slade for Breda Pest Management, the experts that protect my home from those relentless roaches. Breda protects the outside and inside of your home, and it's the roaches inside you want gone. Got roaches? Better call Breda. Make your home a crunch and squish-free zone. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters, like roaches.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
News, weather,
Traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. We do have breaking news this hour.
Close to 200 rounds impacted 6 of the CDC buildings.
The GBI saying the man behind that deadly CDC shooting died of a self-inflicted gunshot.
30-year-old Patrick Joseph White was found dead inside a nearby CVS shortly after allegedly firing dozens of shots at CDC buildings and killing DeKalb County Police Officer David Rose. GBI Director Chris Hosey says they've recovered 5 firearms from the scene, all belonging to White's father.
All indications in our investigation was that they were secured and that he forced his way into the safe that contained the weapons.
Investigators have also recovered documents that indicate White was upset about the COVID-19 vaccine. In DeKalb County, Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
So your weather for today, mostly cloudy, some heavy rain and a few thunderstorms possible throughout the day. Afternoon highs 85, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. She'll have Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast straight ahead. And Tropical Storm Aaron is gaining strength. It could become the Atlantic's first hurricane of the season. It is still too far away, though, to know if it will impact the U.S. mainland. We, of course, will be watching. The DeKalb County School Board approving the installation of hundreds of vape detection devices in all high schools during a long discussion on that plan. One board member pointing out that students could still use a vape pen on campus, even if it's not in hard-to-detect areas like restrooms.
But if they don't vape in the bathroom, there's no cloud of vape when the students who choose not to vape walk in and just want to use the restroom or just use the mirror.
Now, the district will purchase the products from a Swanee-based company at a cost of $1.6 million. Installation will begin before the end of the year. In Cobb County, the commission expected to vote tonight on funding for new pickleball courts.
Commissioners will decide whether or not to approve $850,000 to add 4 more pickleball courts in Marietta. It will give Oregon Park a total of 10 courts. The park along Hamilton Road also has tennis courts, baseball fields, and a disc golf course. The money would also help improve handicapped access and to add a new restroom facility. The funding proposal is expected to pass. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
The latest housing market snapshot from Georgia MLS showing Metro Atlanta home sales cooling in July. The number of units sold fell 7.2% compared to last year, and homes are staying on the market longer. Analysts say that's giving buyers more time to compare properties, and some are waiting to see if the Federal Reserve lowers rates before they make a purchase. Median sales prices holding steady at $415,000. And there's another 90-day extension in the trade war truce between the United States and China, both countries announcing the delay just hours before sky-high triple-digit levies were set to go into effect today. This new deadline will keep tariffs on Chinese imports at 30%, while China's duties on U.S. imports will remain at 10%, at least for now. Let's take a look at the markets. We are in the green. The Dow's up 473 at 44,448, so the Dow's up more than a full percent. NASDAQ and S&P not far behind. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. We say good morning to Alex Williams. He has a look at your roads.
Hey, good morning, Sabrina. We have some good news, bad news in Doraville. The good news is the stalled Big Rig cleared 285 westbound, the outer loop between Buford Highway and Peachtree Boulevard, but they're still working that crash 285 eastbound, the inner loop at Buford Highway, exit number 32. It is in up to 3 right lanes. You're stacked up back into Dunwoody. You can take 400 south to I-85 northbound as an alternate, and now stacked up into Cabot County, I-20 westbound, approaching Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Looks like we got a stall partially in the left lane, slowing you from the mall at Stonecrest. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy today with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, some of which may produce some heavy downpours. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered rain and thunderstorms, high 84.
It is 79 degrees right now in Woodstock, 80 in Decatur. Johns Creek, you have 79 degrees. We'll have more news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
I'll run this town to be near you.
11:04 on yet another busy News Day Tuesday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Aram and crew with you till noon. Coming up in 30 minutes, Deborah's got not one but 2 prize packs to give away. Chance for you to win tickets to Cirque du Soleil under the Big Top at Atlantic Station, and a chance to see Lady A at Atlanta Symphony Hall on December 5th. Speaking of music, Deborah, I've been told that we should discuss the new Taylor Swift album, which was announced on the Kelsey Brothers podcast.
Yes.
So we're going to talk to our official T-Swizzle ambassador, correspondent, coming up next half hour. Amanda Allwood's going to join us.
Yeah, she knows everything you possibly need to know about Taylor Swift.
Indeed. Lieutenant General Newton is going to join us in just a couple of minutes to break down what we might expect to see Friday at the summit in Alaska. We now know it's going to be Anchorage, Alaska, between President Trump and Vladimir Putin. But I want to get back to the live press conference we had at the CDC about the CDC shooting on Friday. And I just recalled something, but I don't remember if I ever brought this up on the air or not. I probably did, because my life is an open book, Deborah. But maybe you can either confirm or deny that I talked about this on the air. Let me tell you the story, because it just occurred to me in reference to the CDC shooting. And I mentioned how much time I spent across the street there in that shopping plaza, mostly eating at the General Muir. Maya goes shopping at the Loft after we have brunch or dinner there. And so this Passover, which I guess would have been back April-ish, Maya and I went to Passover dinner at General Muir, Jewish restaurant. Had a phenomenal Passover dinner. It was amazing. The food was amazing. But, you know, it's located across from the CDC, down from Emory University, and we had Allie's Cookie Emory on a bunch, and they've been dealing with a lot of anti-Semitic stuff there, pro-Palestinian backlash against Jewish-owned businesses, and a lot of anti-Semitic stuff brewing, especially back then in April. Remember the protests on campus? And so I don't know if I talked about this on the air the next day, but I specifically remember when Maya and I went to General Muir for Passover dinner, I was on high alert, right? Because we're in this area where anti-Semitism had been bubbling, and I purposely said, Maya, I want to sit and if you've ever been to General Muir, it's windows all over, right? Front door's a glass and there's windows all around it. And I said, I need to face the door because I was just on high alert. Because if you are going to make an anti-Semitic statement, what better place or time to do it than a Jewish restaurant on Passover? So the whole meal, and nothing happened, but I was on the edge of my seat, with one eye on the door and one eye on the food, and I didn't, I enjoyed the meal, but I was not relaxed. I was tense the whole time, thinking this is a prime target, and it just occurred to me that was happening, 100 yards, 200 yards maybe from that CVS where it went down. Now I want to know what's going on inside that CVS. I've never been to the second floor on that CVS. I just ran in and grabbed Q-tips or something. But what was going on inside the CVS when you've got a guy who obviously had 5 firearms with him, 500 rounds of 500 shell casings? Like, what was going on inside? Did people just flee that CVS? Were they calling 911? Did they know what was happening? Did anyone try to stop the shooter? I'm not saying that, unless you're armed, but you probably don't want to, get in there. But as much information we got from that press conference, I still have more questions than answers at this time. But did I talk about that on the air, Deborah, after Passover?
I don't remember you talking about
that
at all, no.
You did. I remember that.
Yeah, I did.
I remember. I thought something to that effect.
Yeah, it's just weird that I was and normally if I go there, if I went there a couple Sundays ago. It wasn't a Jewish holiday, and I wasn't on high alert, and I had my bagel and lox and cream cheese, and but I remember it was Passover. It's like, this is a big Jewish holiday. It's an important Jewish holiday. I'm at a Jewish restaurant just off the Emory campus where we've had the anti-Semitic activities. Poor Allie's Cookies, Emory, having to deal with, a lot of crap there. And, I just thought, I found it ironic that occurred 200 yards. I wonder if people, now they will be always on high alert. But, just knowing that the CDC's been under fire and immense criticism, and, the new director of Health and Human Services, has not minced words about what he thinks about vaccines. And I wonder if folks at the CDC have been in high alert throughout their time there. And obviously they will be now. Again, we are awaiting a picture of Joseph Patrick White, the now deceased suspect. The authorities in the press conference said they will release it as soon as we get it here at WSB Radio. We'll post it on WSBRadio.com and our social media accounts because it's very weird. 30-year-old, 4 days after the shooting, usually like the Butler, Pennsylvania assassination attempt. We had a picture of that suspect hours later. This is 4 days later, and we still don't know what Joseph Patrick White looks like. But again, the big news, 5 firearms were found at the scene of the crime. Apparently, he broke into his dad's gun safe and took out all 5 of those firearms. Complete updates throughout the day on the CDC shooting here on 95.5 WSB. All right, continue our team coverage of the big summit between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Joining us live on the Mark Arum Show, Lieutenant General Newton. Lieutenant General, good morning. As always, thanks for your time.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Good to be with you again.
Obviously, this is a big story. Am I setting my expectations too high that something could get accomplished at this summit with Trump and Putin?
No, I think it's a significant summit. Stakes are high. And frankly, we're just going to have to wait and see what the outcome is. There's a lot at stake. But also, frankly, there's a lot we don't know where the summit could lead to. But my bottom line, Mark, up front is what I would consider this to be successful, and the most important things really to come out of the summit on Friday would be a framework for a ceasefire, stop the fighting, and leave everything else to this idea of territorial gains or swaps and that type of thing. That, I believe, will be ensuing in terms of further negotiations. But my bottom line is let's get a ceasefire and move on from there.
I would imagine from the Ukrainian perspective that giving up land that Russia now occupies to end this war would be a non-starter for Zelensky and the Ukrainians, not to reward Russia for this invasion by giving them more land.
I agree. That's absolutely absurd for Putin to bring to the table and to try to leverage President Trump with the idea of not only the pledge for a ceasefire would be unilaterally to give that land annexed to Russia, but even more land that he wants to seek. I think that, as I mentioned, that's absurd. I don't think that's going to be in the cards. I think President Trump has already indicated yesterday at a press conference that he talks about, changing the battle lines, try to get some of the territory back to Ukraine. So I don't think that's going to be in the cards for the Friday summit.
Who has the upper hand as these negotiations start? The leader of the free world or President Putin?
Right now, I think the United States does. I think President Trump does because what he's done recently with regard to providing offensive and defensive high-end military capabilities, get that flow of military support going back to Ukraine through Europe. I think also the fact that he has really very clearly put the idea of increased sanctions against Russia, but also tariffs against their main oil trading partner, specifically India. He's added 25% on top of 25% tariffs for India goods coming in the United States. He's threatened, although he's put a pause on sanctions and tariffs against China, but he's also made recognition of the Lindsey Graham Blumenthal bill that's in the Senate right now that could levy up to 500% tariffs against those key trading partners and oil against Putin and Russia. Putin understands that. And so basically this economic tool, I think, is key. However, the other side of my mouth, I would say, Putin is coming into this summit, I believe. I think he is thinking in terms of a position of strength also. They're trying to, leading up to Friday, they've actually tried to make some small gains tactically on the battlefield, although that's been very hard to come by for the last 2 years. But nonetheless, he's really trying to, come into this with from what he considers a position of strength. But right now, from an even odds standpoint, I would give the United States a little bit of an upper hand here.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, Lieutenant General, that, Kremlin thought this war would be over in 2 weeks, right? They didn't expect the resistance that the Ukrainians have given up. At the negotiation table, I find this is fascinating, right? On one side, you've got President Trump, famously authored the bestseller Art of the Deal, real estate negotiations, the best of the best of the best is President Trump. On the other side of the table, you got a former KGB agent who I'm assuming has a lot of negotiating tools in his tool belt. Just how those two approach the negotiations to me is fascinating.
It is, and I was part of the preparation for President Clinton through the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff back in the the Yeltsin-Clinton summit in Helsinki, Finland, 1997. Lots of work months in advance of those deliberations in March of 1997 were entailed. These summits, they do have uses. They can do some good and be effective, but it's high risk. However, when the contours of a deal aren't really clear in advance here, but I think you're starting to see that play out. Point being is there's lots of work going into these, and I just don't think you're going to see, as some people may think, the art of the deal from President Trump's standpoint, yes, and he's famous and capable in that regard, but you're also going to see very clear lines of communication between the United States and Europe and specifically Ukraine. That played out over the weekend with Vice President Vance, Marco Rubio, and others. So I believe that you're not just going to see the president make a 180-degree turn per se, as some would think. I think he'll be clear-eyed. I think he'll be strong. I think he's got some leverage, especially regarding the Russian economy and as well as how he can impact Putin's trading partners, namely China, India, Brazil, and others.
Yeah, that economic lever is going to be key. Logistically, I mean, the eyes of the world are going to be watching this summit. It's going to be held now, we found out, in Anchorage, Alaska. What kind of preparation does the Secret Service have to do? Like, logistically, how is this all going to come together?
Well, first off, let me just give a historical context. You've got Putin, who is a war criminal, can't meet in many places, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's going to meet in Anchorage, Alaska, likely at Eielson Air Force Base. I've been there a number of times. Recall, from a history standpoint, it's the United States that actually purchased Alaska from Russia in 1867 for about $7 million. Okay, that's a historical backdrop here. But you're right. There's lots of preparation. There's security aspects of it. There's certainly Secret Service. There's also going to be Russian security officials and so forth. I don't believe that's going to be an issue at all. But again, though, it goes back to the details leading up from a diplomatic standpoint and a strategic standpoint of what will be discussed. First and foremost, it'll be Ukraine, but there's other topics that I believe Putin will want to talk about and that the United States should be prepared for. Namely, how do we have cooperation with regard to rare earth minerals? What about cooperation in space? What about cooperation or potential opportunities, in the Arctic region and so forth? So there will be the main topic, Mark, is going to be Ukraine, yes, but there's other things that I believe Putin will bring up that the United States should be prepared for.
Lieutenant General Richard Newton, as always, sir, really appreciate your time. Great insight as always. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and cheers to you.
Likewise. Interesting. All right, yeah, the eyes of the world. I want, Deborah, I want to be a fly on the wall and that. I mean, like you've got the deal maker when it comes to real estate deals. You've got President. He literally wrote the book, but on the other side, you've got Mr. KGB himself. Like just the two styles of negotiating, and then you got to mix in the translators, and it'll be crazy. Great stuff there, though, from Lieutenant General Richard Newton. All right, quick break. We'll come back, update our top local story that the new information from the CDC shooting on Friday. Right now, though, we got to check them Atlanta roads. Joining us live in Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Hello and good morning, Alex Williams.
Hey, good morning, Mark. And better news for those traveling on 285 East, the interloop between Dunwoody and Dorville. They got that crash off to the right, all lanes back open. Right at Buford Highway, exit 32. Still slow back to Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, but those delays will start to improve. And we had a stall. Looks like it's cleared out of the left lane in DeKalb County. I-20 westbound at Wesley Chapel Road. Checking on new trouble once again in DeKalb, 285 East, southeast leg of the perimeter, getting past Flat Shoals Road, exit number 48. Traffic brought to you by Callaway Resort and Gardens. Celebrate the closing of summer at Callaway Resort and Gardens with an unforgettable Labor Day weekend getaway now. Book your adventure-filled stay today at CallawayGardens.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
All the notifications you need.
The story developing in Marietta.
All the local and breaking news alerts you need.
We're following breaking news in Atlanta.
All in one place.
The 95.5 WSB app.
Download it today.
You don't want to play games when it comes to your roof. That's why you should call Finley Roofing, the experts who believe manners matter and who will treat your home like their own. So you'll be sure you get your roof done right. Learn more at finleyroofing.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume, how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Exciting news for homeowners out there. This is Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. My team and I are now proud partners with the iconic real estate brand, The Agency. As we launch the Atlanta market, we now have multiple offices covering Metro Atlanta. What this means for you as a home buyer or seller is that you will now have access to the agency's global resources. In this changing market, it is essential to hire the most experienced agency to represent you. And if you're a seller, you'll get the agency's proprietary marketing, which brings you more buyers, more offers, and ultimately sell your home for more money. My team and I are here for you as your real estate experts. In the meantime, we have all your answers about real estate every Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on WSB. And you can always reach out to me at InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, now partners with the Agency Atlanta.
You know how many times people call me to fix their garage door so they can sell their house? For years, they put up with the squeaking and the jamming, or they don't even use it because they lost the remote. Then when it comes time to sell, they fix it up nice for the next guy. For the exact same money, you can fix it up now and enjoy it yourself while you still live there. At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. An expert repair, replacement remote, or garage door tune-up will give you years of trouble-free service. Works great for you, works great for the next guy when you decide to sell. Because you deserve to live in a house as nice as the real estate ad you're going to write about it. How do I know? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and maybe enjoy your garage door so much you decide not to move. Think of the money that'll save.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketch House help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, Haus.com.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Car prices are expected to rise this summer. Do you wait or buy now? At Butler Lexus South Atlanta, there's no guesswork, just peace of mind. All in-stock Lexus vehicles are price locked, guaranteed not to go up. Visit Butler Lexus of South Atlanta or call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Experience the standard of amazing.
With nearly 500 rounds fired and nearly 200 rounds striking facilities on the CDC campus, that's been a focus of ours to process that scene.
FBI Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown, you heard live in the press conference here on 95.5 WSB, updating the tragic death of Officer David Rose. The suspect died by self-inflicted gunshot wound. Joseph Patrick White. A lot of new information passed on. If we do get any more information throughout the day, we'll provide updates. One piece of information we're waiting for is an actual picture. It's remarkable that we're 4 days out from this horrible shooting, and we still don't know exactly what Joseph Patrick White looks like. The authorities said they will release one today. As soon as we get it, we'll share it with you on WSBRadio.com and on our social media. I hate to go from a horrible story like that with some good news. Deborah, we have some more tickets to give away today. What's up first?
All right. How about a pair of tickets to Cirque du Soleil, Lucia, at the Atlantic Station on November 20th?
Have you ever been to Cirque du Soleil? A Cirque du Soleil? Yeah. One of those things, Deborah?
Yes, Cirque du Soleil. I have been to Cirque du
Yeah,
Soleil.
everyone.
Yes.
I've never been to one, but everyone raves about it.
Not even in Vegas?
Not even. Well, when I go to Vegas, I just gamble.
The ones in Vegas are really good.
Yeah, I heard. Well, the one in Atlantic Station is fantastic.
It is. It's great.
Yeah, you've been to that one. I know. You get free tickets here all the time. I've never gotten free tickets. We'll discuss that when we talk about Taylor Swift after the news. Vinny's tired. He's tired. Let's do the ninth caller, Vin. Nice and easy for you. Ninth caller to 404-872-0750. Ninth caller to 404-872-0750 wins a pair of tickets to Cirque du Soleil under the big top at Atlantic Station, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and 95.5 WSB. All right, coming up straight ahead, Sabrina's got the latest on the new information on that CDC shooting. When we come back, we'll update what's going on in D.C., with the National Guard patrolling the streets shortly. And, yes, Taylor Swift has announced a new album, what it means to you and your kids. Amanda Allwood, our official Taylor Swift correspondent, live next on The Mark Arum Show.
Are you tired of painting your home every 3 to 5 years? Get peace of mind for 25 years with Rhino Shield.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Get a free estimate at rhinoshieldga.com.
Avoid the stress of listing your home on the market and sell your home fast for all cash with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. Don't worry about repainting your scuffed up walls or fixing your leaky faucet. Mark Spain Real Estate's guaranteed offer allows you to bypass the market, receive an all cash offer, and close in as little as 21 days. There are no showings, no open houses, and no costly repairs. Mark Spain Real Estate makes selling your home stress-free. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Attention men, does ED and PE have you down? Well, great news. Choice Men's Health has the latest breakthrough treatments that can get you up and running. Meet the specialist who is dedicated to helping you perform better than ever in the bedroom.
Hi, I'm Dr. Katz, Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Our custom treatment plans have a 98% success rate at improving ED and PE on your very first visit, even if Viagra and Cialis have failed. Regardless of your age and medical history, we are here and dedicated to help you regain your love life.
Don't wait. Call Choice Men's Health now. We are so confident we can help. For a limited time, we're offering to cover your first treatment for free. Call 404-400-1170. Call now to claim your free treatment. 404-400-1170. Results guaranteed on your first visit or it's free. 404-400-1170. Choice Men's Health, the only choice for your health.
Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. It's August, which means school is back in session. Hey kids, remember homework? Coolray will help keep you cool while you study at home. Right now, Coolray is offering up to $2,250 back in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete Carrier system. You know, proper insulation is like a summertime sidekick for your HVAC, keeping cool air in and hot air out. Simply go to Coolray.com to book your appointment today. Coolray and Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. Good morning. I'm Sabrina Cupid. This news sponsored by Rocco's European Garage. Our top local story, more details emerging today about the CDC shooter. GBI Director Chris Hosey saying the shooter, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, shot himself. As for a motive?
A search warrant executed at the residence of the shooter revealed written documentation that expressed the shooter's discontent with the COVID-19 vaccination.
Now, 5 guns were found at the scene. Law enforcement saying the weapons belonged to the suspect's father and that his son broke into that safe where they were being kept. GBI saying White had no criminal history. A photo of the suspect being released later today. We, of course, will post it on our website once we get it. Your weather for today, mostly cloudy. Some heavy rain is possible. A few thunderstorms throughout the day, says WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Your afternoon high right there around 85. The White House expected to release official trip details today for Friday's meeting between President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Andrea Mitchell reporting that Ukraine's president and European allies are concerned the discussions will favor Putin.
Getting a summit in the U.S. with Trump is already a personal victory.
The meeting will mark the first time Putin has been invited to the U.S. outside of the United Nations in 18 years.
And President Trump announced yesterday that Ukrainian President Zelensky will not take part in the upcoming talks. He said he'll call Zelensky and other European leaders after he meets with Putin. More than 103,000 F-150 pickup trucks are under recall today. The axle bolts may break and result in the vehicle rolling away or a loss of drive power. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration saying customers may report hearing a clicking noise, and they say if the bolt breaks, you may hear a rattling noise. This recall impacting Ford F-150 models between 2023 and 2025. Ford dealers will replace the rear axle shaft assemblies free of charge. In South Fulton, the city of South Fulton is closed City Hall there because of an electrical panel failure. The building is currently without full electrical service, so in order to safely replace the panel, they have to cut the electricity. As a result, City Hall will be closed to the public for the remainder of the day. All public meetings, though, that were scheduled for today have been relocated to the Welcome All Park Recreation Center. And now your money. Inflation is up a little bit less than expected. July numbers out today from the Labor Department show the Consumer Price Index, a general measure of how much people are paying for goods and services. Well, it was up 0.2% from June. That's about 0.1% less than what analysts were expecting. Year over year, the rate is at 2.7%. As we take a look at the markets, the Dow's up almost a full percent here at 1133. NASDAQ also up, and so is the S&P. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams and the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Sounding for right now a traffic red alert on the south side perimeter, Sabrina. It's a car fire. They had the car fire doused, but right now all lanes remain shut down. 285 eastbound, the outer loop just past Flat Shoals Road, exit 48. That means using I-20 eastbound as an alternate as delays are already growing back toward Boulder Crest Road. 400 southbound through Sandy Springs, a little sluggish passing Northridge Road exit 6, where they've had rolling construction in the left lane. And elsewhere, 285 east, the inner loop between Dunwoody and Dorville has cleaned up nicely with that crash that cleared at Buford Highway, exit number 32. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Mostly cloudy with heavy rain and thunderstorms through the course this afternoon and this evening. Some of these storms may produce some locally heavy downpours. Today's high is 85, lows tonight in the low 70s. More scattered storms in the forecast for tomorrow with a high of 84.
80 degrees right now in Sugar Hill and Vinings. Mableton has 81 degrees. We'll have more news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Sabrina Cupid, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Coming up next, Deborah Green's got tickets to give away to see Lady A, plus breaking news in the music world. 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Living in the South offers us a lot of things. We get to bop carpenter bees with a badminton racket, and we get to argue which is better, tea or sweet tea. We also get to use our deck 12 months a year, and that is awesome. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck guys. You know when is a great time to get a new deck? Now. It's always deck season, and Ben Hill Renovations can turn your old backyard into outdoor living space. Host a party, watch the big game, cook out. It's all possible on your new deck from Ben Hill Renovations, and it's easy. Ben Hill offers free estimates at your home, or you can go to their showroom where you can see and feel the many different options for your new deck. Ben Hill offers a better contractor experience. Every project is built with future county and city code requirements in mind, and all jobs are backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. See them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Hey friends, when was the last time you hopped out of bed without your knee or back screaming at you? Or walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step? Let me guess, in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, it'll disappear, I'll tough it out, but nothing ever changes, does it? Hey, it's Mark Arum. Time to call and schedule that free consultation with the medical pros at QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. Bring your x-rays and your MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free, no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. 770-285-8026. Ask about that free consultation. 770-285-8026.
This is Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing, the honest plumber. Like me, Superior Plumbing has been doing business for more than 40 years. Trust me, to last that long takes dedication to doing the job right and building trust with your customer base. I've used Superior Plumbing for years, and owner Jay Cunningham is committed to making you a customer for life, too. Next time you need a plumber, visit thehonestplumber.com.
Superior, the honest one. Call 770-422-PLUM.
11:37 on a really busy Tuesday news day. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. Coming up, breaking news in the music world, breaking news in the internet world. But let's give away another set of tickets. Deborah, what do we have now, my friend?
All right, a pair of tickets to go see Lady A at Atlanta Symphony Hall on December 5th.
All right, ninth caller to 404-872-0750 wins the tickets to see Lady A, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show. Ninth caller, Vin, to 404-872-0750. By the way, congrats to Dana in Norcross. Won the tickets to see Cirque du Soleil under the big top. Now to that breaking internet news. A lot of folks getting PTSD to their dial-up days. Joining us live from CBS News, tech contributor Ian Sherr. Ian, good morning, my friend.
How are you doing?
I'm not going to lie, Ian. I didn't even know AOL still had dial-up service, but not for long.
Well, it just means it goes to show exactly how many friends you have in the really rural parts of this country. Because part of what's interesting about all of this is that AOL has existed for years still, even though most of us see it as a joke, as one of the only ways that a lot of people were able to connect over the internet to using a normal phone line. Of course, even that is something they don't rely on anymore as much because satellite internet, which used to be all about HughesNet and all that, has now become more popular and more available through companies like Starlink and whatnot. And so as a result, AOL says they are ending their service on September 30th.
September 30th for the dial-up folks, be prepared. It was a question of who was going to end first, landline phones or AOL dial-up, and it's AOL dial-up by a nose. But I don't want to dismiss the impact that AOL had on the internet generation. For a lot of folks listening around my age, that was your first experience on the internet. That was our first opportunity to get on the internet was through that dial-up AOL. And if the AOL dial-up didn't walk, we wouldn't be running now with the high-speed internet we have.
Well, that's the thing is that America Online really did bring America online. I remember especially whenever new versions of AOL came out. And remember, you couldn't download software over the internet back then very easily. Most of us got them in a disc or later as a CD in a magazine. And I actually remember one of my favorite stories that I heard was from one of the former executives at AOL said that for one of the launches they did, they actually took up all of the CD printing capability in the world, in the entire globe, to print out enough CDs to give out new updates for the AOL software. So
I don't doubt it.
Big deal back then.
Those CDs, those whatever they were ubiquitous. I mean, you get 4 in your mail a week from AOL. All right, so September 30th. Rest in peace to AOL. For folks that still have AOL email addresses, are those still safe, Ian?
So here's as though AOL is just shutting down their internet connections. They are still providing stuff like news and access to the internet and kind of a way for people to kind of have an easier way using the internet. So that is something that they'll continue doing. And by the way, they've got stuff like ID theft protection and all sorts of stuff. So if you are someone who's worried about making sure that you're using kind of a safer version of the internet, that is part of what they've moved into versus just being an internet dial-up and email service.
Hello, AI. Goodbye, AOL. Ian Sherr, CBS News. Ian, always great stuff. Thank you so much, my friend.
Absolutely.
All right. By the way, Deborah, Sean Hannity no longer has an AOL email address. I tried.
Oh, I still have
for years he had one, and I tried to email him a couple months back, and I got an automatic reply. Sean no longer checks this AOL account, so I don't know if he's still using AOL dial-up, but September 30th is the final day. All right, to the breaking news in the music world.
So I wanted to show you something.
Okay, what do we got?
We got
A briefcase.
Yep.
Mint green with TS on it.
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
TS12.
Breaking news on the Kelsey podcast yesterday. Taylor Swift announces that she is releasing a new album. Joining us live in studio, you know her from the Mark Arum Show, Director of Promotions Amanda Allwood. She was the promotions director that famously denied me my only ticket request in 27 years here at WSB Radio when I asked for Taylor Swift tickets. I mean, I'm not holding a grudge. You didn't have them.
You don't bring it up ever.
No.
This is clearly the first time I've heard this.
But I understood that. It's Taylor Swift.
It was tough.
Yeah, and then Tad and Drex gave some away the next day. So I'm not bitter. But you are our official Taylor Swift correspondent.
Thank you.
Is this truly breaking news? Did anyone know this was coming?
This was a big surprise, but there were a lot of what we call, the Easter eggs out there in the world. So there has been this is her 12th studio album. So, she's released little things that were kind of hinting towards a 12, whether that be in a video or an Instagram post or whatever, for a while. So the community felt it was coming, obviously.
But it's just a matter of when.
Correct.
You didn't know it was. And
we had no idea.
All right. What I mean, I don't want to get, break down a relationship, but the fact that she released it on her boyfriend's podcast, that's a pretty strong relationship.
That's huge. I mean, I think I was surprised by that because I just figured, it'll be on her Instagram, whatever. The podcast hasn't premiered yet. It was just kind of the teaser for it for tomorrow. Okay. Oh yeah. But the full release. And I'm hoping that when it releases tomorrow, we'll get a release date for the album because right now we don't know. We know the name. We don't know when it's coming out.
Now, I've seen, again, the breaking news, Taylor Swift announcing her 12th studio album. The producers that she is collaborating with on this album, she's worked with before, and most of those albums, I'm not as familiar with the T-Swizzle catalog as you are.
It's deep.
But I'm seeing that this could be more of a poppy album as opposed to some of her other types of releases.
Yeah. She, as a lot of people know, she has a lot of eras, a lot of genres. So this one does seem like we're going that way, which makes sense. She's in a happy relationship. She's not coming out of the dark days of Tortured Poets Department, which was the last record. So I personally like the sad stuff, but I was
about to say, is that bad for her music? Because the heartbreak stuff is the stuff that most people connect with, right?
Well, yes. I mean, I like a sad song. I grew up as an emo kid, so Swemo now, which is a Swiftie emo. Swemo. But I prefer the sad stuff. But I think maybe we need a happy record. Maybe at this time. It'll bring people together, so I'm here for it.
There we go. Amanda Allwood, the official Taylor Swift correspondent of the Mark Arum Show, joining us live in studio. Couple of follow-ups. Do we have an album release date yet, or is that still to be determined?
We don't know the date. We do know from the website that if you pre-order it, it will ship before October 13th. So there has been a lot of people saying, well, that's the release date. I think we'll learn more as it goes on. I think it could come out Friday. It could come out on October 13th. Any time between then is totally possible. I mean, in this day and age, it's not like it used to be where you got to get CDs in stores. I mean, she could just put it out on digital whenever she wants.
That was the first question my wife had this morning when I heard the announcement. I said, Taylor's coming out with a new album, and her first question is, when? So do I have to? Well, I'll let her handle the pre-order, and she's in the fan clubs or whatever.
Totally, and you don't need to pre-order it. I mean, she's going to have 1,000 different versions. Target's probably going to have an exclusive like they always do. So it's really a matter of how big of a fan you are. Do you want to collect every single version of the record on vinyl, or are you okay with just listening to it when it comes out on Spotify?
Ooh, Deborah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, Deborah, but if you had the opportunity to get the 12th studio album of Taylor Swift, do you go vinyl first?
Vinyl lovers, and today is Vinyl Record Day, would probably get that in their collection because, like Amanda said, Target has these exclusives. So if you are a collector, you're going to go for that. But there is a whole generation out there, like the Vins, who are probably just digital.
Digital only. All right. Can I assume then that with this announcement of a new album that there will be a world tour to follow?
God willing, start saving our pennies.
Yeah, well, that financially, I need to know.
Me too. I bought my tickets.
Obviously, I'm not getting any freebies from B98.5.
No one gets Taylor Swift freebies, my friends.
I say again, I know it's not on you, Amanda. but you are the keeper of the tickets. But I built up 27 years of equity of not asking for a single concert.
I'm going to make you a deal.
Yeah.
I know people.
Okay.
So when you want tickets, you have to buy them.
Of course.
But you can sit with me and I'll get us good tickets.
So it was the Eras tour that I whiffed out on, right? And
it was, which is a bummer because it was fantastic.
And it was to the point, Deborah, you and I discussed this, that Maya's like, there's still tickets available in like France. She's like, I'll fly to France, buy the tickets, and it'll be cheaper than if I bought tickets
It
here.
was, yeah.
It was because of the resale markets in America.
Exactly. But she didn't wind up pulling the trigger on that. So maybe I can make good and get her. If there is another tour, it's not confirmed yet, but I assume it would come to Atlanta.
Oh, I mean, it has to, right? We're a huge city. So and she sold out 3 shows at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which was huge at the time. So I think there'll be another tour. It's just a matter of when. Unless maybe another big announcement is she's getting married or I don't know.
Listen, I like Taylor Swift. I mean, just it seeps into my head. Maya plays it when working out, and I've got a couple of I really like a couple of Taylor Swift songs. But even if you don't like her musically, you have to respect her business acumen. Like, what a businesswoman she is. She has just redone the whole music industry.
Absolutely. I mean, who else could activate a bunch of Gen Z and millennial women to understand the intricacies of the way that rights work for albums and then stand behind you and buy a second version of the record that they already own? That's crazy. Like, I know that stuff because I worked in the industry since I was 21, but my friends suddenly understood the way that rights work to songwriting, and I was like, wow, only Taylor Swift could do that.
Relatedly, Scooter Braun will be on the show tomorrow.
I can't. I have some words for him.
Amanda, great stuff. Thanks for jumping in on the breaking news.
Thank you.
And if there is a tour, you'll win tickets on the Tad Drex and Kara Morning Show on B98.5. The best. No, what is it?
90s 2K and Today.
90s 2K and Today. Hey, congrats to Karen in Loganville. You didn't win T-Swizzle tickets, but you won tickets to see Lady A, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show at 95.5 WSB. Quick break. We'll update our top local stories right now, though. Another Taylor Swift fan. What did you call yourself? A Twemo? What was that?
Twemo.
A Swemo.
Yeah, that's a Swifty emo.
All right. Alex Williams, also a Swifty emo, but he's also a great traffic reporter. What do you have, Alex?
Listen, the only thing Taylor and I share is the same birthday, okay?
Nice. Happy early Taylor little guy birthday.
Some better news on the southeast side of the perimeter, Mark. All lanes have just reopened from an earlier car fire. 285 eastbound, the outer loop past Flat Shoals, exit 48. You're stacked up from 675, but those delays will start to improve. Just found new trouble in Stockbridge. Looks like a stalled big rig. I think it's in the second right lane. Yeah, second right lane, 75 south, approaching Hudson Bridge Road, exit number 224. And the brake lights have improved between Roswell and Sandy Springs, where we had that earlier rolling left lane construction, 400 southbound passing Northridge Road, exit 6. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
Why do you always go after the game show host and The Price is Right?
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
Don't tell me how to handle my life.
Eric Von Hessler.
Or anyone else.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Is your heating and cooling system so old you can't remember when it was installed? If so, it's time to get protection from Reliable Heating and Air. Hey, friends, it's Mark Arum. Check this out. Let Reliable Heating and Air protect your AC from breakdowns and your budget. Just $14.99 a month. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. No deductibles, no claims or paperwork, no service fees, just coverage for your aging AC and heating systems. Get all the information you need online at reliableair.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Canada Dry. Select varieties are $5.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey y'all, it's Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I'm so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. And Four Seasons Home Care was so helpful to my family throughout the process. I get emails from listeners all the time and why I trusted Four Seasons Home Care. They tell me I don't want just anyone to care for my parents. Well, of course you don't. So here's why I work with Four Seasons Home Care. Care. This is a real family-owned company. They vet and hire every single one of their caregiving specialists, and they don't farm out the care to contractors, and they're not some national corporation. So here's my advice, folks. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. Do your homework. This is a huge decision. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
Are you looking for trustworthy automotive service for your European vehicle? Well, look no further than Rocco's European Garage. This is Rocco, and my brothers and I built this company by prioritizing honest, clear, upfront, and all-in pricing that is approved by you prior to us beginning work. We offer a 3-day appointment window to get you back on the road quicker and shuttle service for more convenience. So next time your check engine light comes on your Mercedes or BMW, Porsche, Land Rover, or Audi, get honest auto repair or maintenance at Rocco's European Garage.
Hi, I'm Trisha, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you, your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Are you looking for a style that's classic, modern, vintage, or something in between? Not sure? At Shane Company, we're here to help. We have so much style under one roof because a friend knows you like options. Drop by or visit us at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Worried about market losses? If headlines are keeping you up at night, it's time to take control. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and I know you've worked hard to save. But in times like these, what if can turn into what now? If you're planning to retire or are in retirement, you need a strategy that helps protect your future. At Trajan Wealth, you can capture market gains, protect your account from losses, and guarantee income for life. Right now, you could receive a bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10% for retirement income. You heard me right. An upfront bonus of up to 30% or annual growth of up to 10%, all guaranteed to boost your lifetime income in retirement. Don't leave your future to chance. Plan with confidence. Call 404-390-4000. That's 404-390-4000.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company, DBA, in most states, as Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE. One of the greatest movies of all time, or one of the scariest movies of all time. 86 years ago today in, oh, Deborah, help me, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
Oconomowoc?
Yeah, that The Wizard of Oz premiered in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin.
Oconomowoc. Probably because some of the little people
Yes.
are from Wisconsin.
How about that? 3 days later, it debuted in Hollywood and in New York City. That was 86 years ago today. Big political story. We're going to talk with political analyst Stephen Lawson on the show tomorrow. Big news politically that dropped last night. President Trump endorses Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones in his bid for governor. We knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Mr. Jones on X Twitter said this endorsement means so much, not just because President Trump is my friend and a true leader, but because it shows our Georgia First movement gaining momentum. I'll just read briefly from President Trump's endorsement on Truth Social. Highly respected and very popular Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, running to be the next governor of the great state of Georgia. Very special place to me in what we had a big presidential election win just 8 short months ago. At the end of the post, Burt Jones for governor has my complete and total endorsement. And then in all caps, he will never let you down! !
Longoria's Fact of the Day.
All right, today is National Julienne Fries Day, also known as shoestring potatoes. They're a type of French fry cut into thin, uniform strips resembling matchsticks. And the oldest known written reference to the Julienne cut is in 1722 cookbook.
You like those shoestring fries?
I do
Longo?
not.
Yeah, I mean, if you give them to me, I'm going to eat them.
I remember them as a kid. They were like a snack. Like they came in that little tin can.
There's one fast food joint that serves them.
Yes.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either, and I don't like them. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
They're fine. They're fine. They're not the best.
I like a crinkle cut or a steak potato.
That is the best of the fries. Is the crinkle cut fries. All right. I'm not going to celebrate it. If that's your favorite type of potato, you enjoy it. I'm not going to steal your joy, but I am not going to partake.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Aram star of the show?
How about star number one, Sabrina Cupit jumped in with the breaking news. She jockeyed that CDC press conference with aplomb, the news veteran that she is. So Sabrina gets one. Austin Eller did some work for me behind the scenes on that CDC press conference. So Austin Eller, he of the Freakoff fame drop. Do I still have that, by the way, Deborah? You did send me that, right?
You. Yeah, I sent
Let me see. If we mention Austin Eller, we got to play the Freakoff. Here we go. This is Austin Eller.
Freak-Off Parties. I'm Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
All right, so Austin gets a star of the show. I'm not giving one to John Decker at the White House. Good stuff, but he was a little tardy for the party. Talia Kirkland joined us live from Pittsburgh. She gets a star of the show. Scott Slade, amazing stuff in reaction to the CDC press conference. He gets a star of the show. Enda Curran. It was a dude. He gets a star of the show. He was with Bloomberg News. I really thought that was a woman. Lieutenant General Richard Newton joined us live previewing the big Putin-Trump meeting in Alaska. Gnocchi came in and screened. He got us a guest. Wasn't even scheduled today. I bought breakfast. Longoria and Deborah are awesome. That's a lot of stars of the show. Good luck on that on that ledger, Deborah. All right, again, political analyst Stephen Lawson tomorrow. We are awaiting the release of the picture of the shooting suspect, now deceased Joseph Patrick White. As soon as we get that, it will be posted on WSBRadio.com or social media. Speaking of social media, give me a follow, friends, at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Tuesday.